that we are live.
Yep, it still says flaming hot in Discord.
Dang it! I don't know how to fix that. I fixed it on all the other platforms.
I can fix it later.
Please, if you don't mind. Also, I need to sneeze right after I hit go live. Of course I do.
Banned? Why though?
Oh no! There you go.
All right, I'm now unmuted. Scooby Dooby Sweets Time is the name of that OP. I need to check that out. That sounds pretty good. Put Shooby Dooby, and my brain went Shappy Dooby Touch Hinchin. Got a band. I don't know if that's physically possible. Hey everybody, how's it going?
So I need to pull up chat.
Oh, you're banning Joel. Okay, well, that's a problem.
I need to pull up chat.
Pull up chat. Chat's already here. I'm missing out on quality content.
Jokes on your wife since it's her Twitch account. That's fair. Real quick, I'm gonna say it periodically throughout the course of the show. If there are any donations or subs tonight or anything like that, the money instead will be given as a donation to pay for bail for people that have been illegally detained. We will be giving that money there. So just a heads up to anybody that plans to sub or donate tonight. That is where that money will be going. Yeah, I think that covered it. I'm sure there's a better way to say that, and I'm probably going to get better at saying it over the course of the night, but, you know. Also, it logged me out of Restream. Are we live on YouTube? We are live on YouTube.
We are live on both.
Cool. Awesome. All right. Think everything's working there. So, I think that we're good. Yeah, well then. Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of the Full Spectrum Podcast. My name is Trey.
I'm Andrew.
And I'm Patrick.
And yeah, we got some stuff to discuss tonight. As I put out in a tweet, just a heads up to everybody, we will not be having a Sitting Cuties section tonight. Who's that Sitting Cutie? Or me showing off new Tokusatsu merch. That stuff should be in by next week, though, and then we can be able to continue.
I know the main downside that everyone's thinking. No Sitting Cuties song this week. So I'm sorry.
That was the thing I was thinking about. I was like, man, now we can't hear Andrew sing.
I did legitimately, when I put the tweet out this morning, my brain went, oh, we won't get to hear it.
I will not sing you a rousing song about friendship. I will instead lead you to Tenacious D's song, Friendship is Rare.
That's a good song.
I think that's what it's called. It was just called Friendship or something like that. I don't know. Who knows?
So, Nathan, to your comment, I realized I was wasting screen space by not having this monitor going and this computer doing something during the podcast. And so, since I don't want to show you what I'm editing, I instead just have it playing our videos. So, it is a commercial for our other stuff that will play in the background of the podcast from now on.
Why not?
So, you know. I thought about putting GIFs up there, and I may do that as well. But for tonight, it'll be commercials. So, you know.
Wait, what is going on in the background?
That's the Gundam versus Mexi Boost On beta footage. I feel like I forgot something else I was supposed to announce. Like it felt like it was important, and I don't remember. Yeah, I got nothing. I'm sorry.
I'm very tired.
Yeah, I'm pretty exhausted too, like mentally, physically, but you know, we're gonna have a good time tonight. We don't actually have that much news as you know, as it goes. So we're gonna have some good time hanging out. I do have a topic in mind if we have time
Hey.
for it. What you got?
We forgot to do our sponsor plug. That's what it is.
You're 100% right. That's exactly what it is. We didn't talk about Sweet Baby Ray's. So, we may not have Sitting Cuties tonight, and we may not have Tokusatsu tonight, but what we do have is Sweet Baby Ray's. And I have it on good authority that every single season of Precure, Kamen Rider, Super Sentai, Ultraman, Garo, Metal Heroes, and Kikaider use Sweet Baby Ray's for any scene that may or may not include barbecue sauce.
The way it should be.
Sweet Baby
Yep.
Ray's is the barbecue sauce of Tokusatsu. That's all I'm saying.
Facts. Just spitting facts.
All I'm saying is, Sweet Baby Ray's may or may not cure disease.
Yeah.
There you go.
Look, all I'm saying,
Chug a bottle and see what happens.
yeah, all I'm saying is they've never tried to use Sweet Baby Ray's to cure anything.
I can't wait to get like images on Twitter of like, hey, here's a scene from Super Sentai where they have a barbecue and they clearly show they're not using Sweet Baby Ray's.
You have no idea how badly I want someone to jokingly get a bottle of Sweet Baby Ray's and then like use Photoshop to put like #1 doctor recommended.
Oh, look! All I'm saying is, if you make fan art of Sweet Baby Ray's in a Tokusatsu show, I will retweet it. That will happen.
I love to imagine the alternate universe where there is a video game and anime focused podcast that is sponsored by barbecue sauce.
Hey, if we meme about it long enough, it could happen. It unironically could happen.
Look, all we're saying is we love Sweet Baby Ray's and all the sauces that are available. Period.
Chat. Quick question. Pat is pretty quiet for me. Is he quiet for y'all? I'll bump him up if he is.
Oh, I can get loud.
I mean, yep, that was definitely louder. That
Headphone warning.
Pat, say a normal thing. Yeah.
A thing.
Okay, so you sounded good there, but like you were kind of.
It's probably because I backed up a little bit.
That's fair. Okay, chat can hear you fine, so we can keep going.
So, do you have to turn me up, Trey?
No, like normally I have to turn you down.
Artaka wants me to yell. Does anyone else want me to yell?
It's no. It's you and me, Andrew. I have to turn both of us down all the time.
There's this much space. I can't even fit into frame.
Yeah.
Between me and my microphone.
Yeah, I have to
You
turn you down, and I have to turn me down.
So what you're saying is I'm loud.
Oh, hold on here. Is it time for a song?
I see what has happened here.
Is it time for a little bit of a song?
We're face to face with greatness.
It's a song time!
I'm sorry.
Oh, he's chunky and he's cute. Oh no, it's Shari.
There you go.
I forgot how big it is.
Yep.
I forget every day I walk into my room and it's sitting in my gaming chair and I think an actual person is in my room.
So
the chair turns around. It's just Shari.
I've been expecting you.
We had I had some friends come in, family really, and Pat came in to see him too, and brought Sharif, and I did not expect him to actually be that big.
No invite, I see.
I was gonna ask.
I literally said you could come down too.
No invite. So now those people think that I hate them, and that Pat loves them.
I literally said, "Come on down."
I was gonna ask you as well if you wanted me to make some time to come down to where you're at, Andrew, and let you hang out with Sharif.
Bring our son with you.
We'd have to be careful. I don't know how the puppers would react because the dogs that belong to my roommates thought that Sharif's tail was a toy.
Waffles is small, and Waffles thinks that if something is bigger than him, it's a toy.
That's fair.
So if it's a bigger toy, if it's like a big plush, he will love it even more. So he will probably try to grab Sharif from its front hoof.
Yeah.
and drag them around the house.
Have you ever thought about the fact that, oh, thanks for that gifted sub there. Thank you. And again, as we mentioned, those subs will be going to pay for bail for people that have been illegally imprisoned through all this.
Hold on. I have to clarify something with chat.
Yes, please.
Yes, I have a dog named Waffles. My wife named that dog Waffles. We have a dog that I named. His name is Quincy. A normal name.
Hold on. I think that
Waffles is a good name.
I think that compared to your third dog's name, those other two names are terrible. Terrible.
What, Barkley?
Yeah. That was a Charles Barkley joke.
Totally.
I don't think anyone got but Trey, and I'm very sad now.
You know, there's this thing about Charles Barkley. It's called Shut Up and Jam Gaiden, and it's a great game, and you should all play it.
Okay.
It's a really weird.
Apparently, I just
RPG.
Whenever we get to my week, we'll learn that I just take requests and just follow through with it. So
yeah, we'll get in there in just a second. I just wanted to say, have you guys thought about the fact that Sharif has 4 dads?
Oh,
4?
It's the 3 of us in band.
Hold on, I have to tell Courtney that chat supports Waffles.
Okay, all right, please do. So not only can I read his lips and know what he's saying, I also hear it in his voice.
Yep.
So that "Hey babe" was visceral.
I just wanted to let you know. and then I stopped reading his lips because I knew exactly what was being said.
Yeah. What was being said?
He said everyone in chat. And then I stopped reading your lips after that.
Yeah.
I love
we started talking about it.
All of chat read that "Hey babe" in your voice when you turned and said it.
Oh, y'all can tell I said that?
Yeah.
I guess I will open the chat. I guess I will open the podcast. Before Trey even says anything, it's just me up close. Hey babes.
Oh. Well,
you're all my little babes.
With that in mind, Andrew, how's your week been?
I went back to work. Talked about that last week. I've been waking up at 5:30 and I've been getting to work 30 minutes early every day.
Wow.
Best employee ever.
That's
not
impressive.
Really. That's not true at all. Just remember if you're getting sensual with your babes.
Sweet baby Rays.
So sweet baby Rays.
Not gonna comment on that one.
Lather it up.
We will mod Cat if we have to.
Just spicy.
Oh God.
Flaming hot even.
Oh, you're the best, Joel.
Why isn't there a flaming hot sweet baby Rays?
There probably is. They just probably don't sell it because it's too powerful.
Yeah, that's true.
We have to make sure we stick within the limitations of humanity.
I need to skip this
The
video.
limitations of humanity.
I need to skip this video because it'll have Helltaker spoilers for people because that's the full playthrough right there.
Hey, great game. Great game.
Very good game. Very good game. Let's go to more Gundam. That'll be good. Please continue, Andrew. I'm sorry. Chris immortality.
I played a lot more. Well, not as much as the past couple of weeks because I have to work now. But played some more Deep Rock Galactic.
Yes.
Rock and Stone.
I found out that the deep dives are like a weekly thing. Like it resets weekly. Because I kept running them, and I was like, man, I must be getting a glitch. I'm not getting any overclocks. And these missions are the exact same every time.
I got you.
And then I looked it up, and I was like, oh, it's a once-a-week thing that I've been running over and over again. But my driller is now promotion 2, promoted twice, or whatever you want to call it, second promotion. I think I'm like level 5 or 6, I think now.
Yeah.
So I've put some time in. Rock and Stone, 2 stars.
Nice.
Call them stars, yeah. I love that game so much. I tried out some more of the Engineer, the Scout, and the Gunner, and I'm starting to come around on them. But I just unlocked an overclock for my cryo gun, my freeze ray, where if I hold the reload button down, instead of it shooting like a spray, like a mist, it shoots a giant icicle.
Oh man!
So that's where my life's at right now.
Nice.
Just shooting giant icicles.
That's fair.
Then I watched my first Studio Ghibli film ever, My Neighbor Totoro.
Yes.
Watched it. That's beautiful, man.
Yeah, that movie's great.
It is. I have the same problem that I have with a lot of like JRPGs, where I had to restart it because I fell asleep at some point because it's just like so peaceful and everything. But the animation's great. Black holes. What? Never mind. I'll ignore chat. We've moved on. But yeah, it's just a beautiful little movie. I don't want to say too much about it. I don't know what I'm going to move on to. I think
Whisper of the Heart.
Whisper of the Heart.
That's my favorite. Well, no, Porco Rosso is my favorite. But Whisper of the Heart's right there.
Let's take I'll take recommendations from everyone. Let me see what's on HBO Max.
Also, chat. What's your favorite Ghibli movie?
Never seen a Ghibli movie ever.
Pat, what's your favorite Ghibli movie?
I've never seen one.
That's not the right answer.
Here's the thing. If Trey, before I watched My Neighbor Totoro, if Trey would have asked me that without seeing any of them, I would have said My Neighbor Totoro because I know it has a cute like spirit in it.
That's fair. What do you think about the cat bus? Cat bus is so perfect. I love the cat bus so much.
Oh, the cat bus, top 10 thing ever.
My Neighbor Totoro.
It's so cool. Just hauling butt.
No, my favorites are Porco Rosso, Whisper of the Heart, Nausicaa the Valley of the Wind, Up on Poppy Hill, Mononoke. I'm just gonna name them all again.
Can we do a watch party?
We probably could do a watch party. Disney owns them, but as long as we just like showed us.
Are they on Disney Plus?
Some of them.
No,
some of them are on YouTube too.
They're on
some of them on Amazon Prime, HBO Max. Like they're all over the place when it comes to who's got the rights to them, but Disney owns them all. Spirited Away is really good. Kiki's Delivery Service, Howl's Moving Castle. Those are all really good.
So which one did you say, Trey?
I'm Porco Rosso is my number one, but Whisper of the Heart is like right behind there.
Porco Rosso. Is this a pig that flies?
It is. It's a pig pilot. He flies a plane.
Okay, well. You should have just told me that.
That flies a plane, and the music is incredible.
I wouldn't have wasted my time on My Neighbor Totoro. I would have known there was a flying pig.
It's like the Geico commercial, but better.
I think I'll join in with Joel here. I think that Mononoke has some really good ideas. The reason I don't just rattle it off with the others is because I do think that movie kind of grinds to a halt midway through. But in fact, a lot of Ghibli movies have that problem, unfortunately. Only yesterday, Ponyo, they got a really good start, and then they just kind of, and then they come back at the end. But it's what happens when an anime creator gets told when pigs fly too many times.
He makes it happen. Or she makes it happen.
Kaguya is really good too.
Guys, I can't watch all of them in 1 week.
You could. You honestly could. They're
so I almost watched 2 of them.
Yeah.
This past week, but they all looked good, so I didn't know which ones to watch. What?
I don't know what's happening right now. I like how Trey got upset knowing that I hadn't seen one.
I'm sorry I made you move for that, Zeke. How did I forget Cagliostro? Cagliostro is such a good movie.
I don't even know what that is.
Castle of Cagliostro. It's a Lupin the Third movie done by Miyazaki and the Ghibli team. It is incredible.
It's
I
not
love
on
this
here.
movie so much. Yeah, it's actually like it's in a weird way. It's the only, to my knowledge, the only Ghibli movie that is from a different property. But it's so good. It's so good. I love this movie. This is my original DVD copy too. I talked about it in the What's on the Shelf video for it. I own Mononoke, Howl's Moving Castle, Secret World of Arrietty, Castle in the Sky, Nausicaa the Valley of the Wind, My Neighbor Totoro, Porco Rosso, From Up on Poppy Hill, Whisper the Heart, Grave of the Fireflies, Spirited Away. There's one more over there that I'm not reading right now correctly.
From Up on Poppy Hill.
Yeah, I hit it really hard. I didn't mean to, but my head's okay. From Up on Poppy Hill is really good.
So, not Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind.
That's really good too.
That's worth watching.
Yeah, there are some that I don't think are. Like, I hate to be that way, but like Only Yesterday is not that great. But the rest are pretty good.
I will.
Ponyo's okay. It's not, Ponyo's not one that like I just jump out to tell people to watch.
You can't imagine me liking it. Challenge, oh my god, accept it. I'm going to watch that movie and it's going to be my favorite movie ever made.
He's going to obsess over it.
I have seen Your Name. Your Name is really good. It's not, I don't like Your Name. Like, I don't know why these movies always get contested against each other. I like, what's it called? It's, my brain just completely melted on me. It's the other one. A Silent Voice. I like A Silent Voice more. But I'd still really like Your Name. But my favorite animated movie still belongs to Children Who Chase Lost Voices. That movie is amazing. 80% of why Andrew likes things despite others.
That's the only reason I like anything. I like first-person shooters because other people don't like them.
Honestly. Oh, that's why you like Super Mario Odyssey then.
Oh!
You know what? That was. I'll let that one stand because that was good. Bravo.
Thank you.
That was great.
Yeah, so it's Ghibli movies are really good, and almost all of them I think are worth a watch. Not all of them.
So I'm gonna try to watch 2 this week. What 2 should I watch? I'm watching. Well, what other one should I watch besides The Flying Pig?
Yeah, because Porco Rosso is right there.
Yeah.
Which one would you enjoy the most?
Besides Ponyo, because it's unfair. That's my favorite. That's my favorite movie. So
yeah. I would say Porco Rosso, and honestly, I would say Whisper of the Heart too. But
I will watch Ponyo instead. I'll watch Porco Rosso and Ponyo.
Okay. Adri says Arrietty. Arrietty's really good too.
What's Arrietty? I don't know if that's on here.
Secret World of Arrietty.
Oh, it is on here.
Years have passed, but I can still smell the roses. Or see the roses? Maybe that's a line. To see first, they're all disconnected from each other for the most part.
Yeah.
If you're looking for like high flying adventure, I would say Nausicaa, Castle in the Sky, Howl's Moving Castle, or Mononoke. Those are the more adventure based movies. If you want like touching story about family, go for like My Neighbor Totoro, From Up on Poppy Hill, Porco Rosso. If you want something that's more fantasy, like just incredibly embedded in fantasy, Secret World of Arrietty, Ponyo. Ponyo maybe less.
Ponyo is 2 hours long.
Tales of Earthsea, Lupin the Third, Castle Cagliostro, stuff like that. It really just depends on what you're looking for which one to go for. Yeah, Spirited Away is another good one for fantasy for sure.
was written for 5-year-old girls in mind. Well, that's up my alley because I have the mind of a 5-year-old girl.
Good to know. Good to know.
Yeah, that's true. Kiki as well. There's so many of them that it's hard to like just because you forget them, you know. But they're really good. The only one I would say maybe watch out for if you're not ready for it is Grave of the Fireflies.
Yeah, that was on my list too, but I'm not in the mood for something like that right now.
That is unironically the saddest movie I've ever seen. Still to this day.
Yeah, I've heard that a lot. Yeah, Ponyo, I'm not watching it now because the band likes it, so it's gotta be a shit film.
So, anyway, that was the Ghibli diversion.
It's my week.
Real quick though, again, just gonna say, if you like animated movies, you should watch Children Who Chase Lost Voices. It's not Ghibli, but it's a one-off made by people that used to work for Ghibli. And it is still my favorite animated movie ever made. It is an incredible movie, very touching story, very nice animation, incredible music, great movie. Great.
So this one will be a curveball, but I said I would watch it last week. I said I would watch the first episode. So I watched the first episode of, let me read it off, My Next Life as a Villainess, All Routes Lead to Doom. Have you seen this, Trey?
I've not, but I have been told I need to.
It's worth it. It's actually really good. It's so wacky. It's so wacky.
I never thought I would get an honest opinion from you on that. I thought for sure you were going to troll.
I wanted to, but like it impressed me when I watched it.
That's really
so I was like, I was like, I can't troll this one because I don't know what anything bad I would say. Like it's just it's a fun little.
That's really high praise.
Yeah, and I think it only has like, let me go to Crunchyroll real quick. I think it only has like 9 episodes.
Oh man, I could take a break from watching my shows to watch that.
I don't know if it's still ongoing. It's at 9 now. Okay, still at 9. Okay, so yeah, I'll watch 9 episodes.
13 episodes total. Oh, I can make time for that.
Oh yeah. If I get in, here's my thing. My problem with watching subs is I like to do something else while I play a game or something while I watch it.
Yeah.
And with subs, I have to focus on it. So I don't like watching subs with a series that is super long.
Yeah.
Because it feels really daunting. But with only 9 episodes right now, I feel like it's doable for me.
Yeah, for sure. So
I will watch it because it's worth it. It's so crazy. The idea is crazy. I don't want to spoil anything.
Okay.
It's just crazy.
I'll check it out. I think saying that I don't have time to watch it when I just watched 5 series back to back that all have almost 50 episodes would be incredibly disingenuous. So yeah, I'll check it out for sure.
Then I got back into Chainsaw Man.
Okay.
Yeah, baby. Chapter 30 is where I'm at.
Hey, we're close to the same chapter right now.
Where are you at?
I'm at 39.
We're not that close, Jesus.
No, you can burn through 9 chapters. They're only 20 chapters a page. I mean, come on.
So every night I start. Well, not every night, but I started doing it like 3 or 4 nights ago.
I lied on chapter 34.
Oh, okay, we're closer then. All right.
So
we're valid.
So wait, hold on. So did you read chapter 30 or you're reading chapter 30?
I've read Joe.
Jin, do not get me more hyped than I need to be right now. Okay? It's still, from what I understand, we're still not sure if it's a thing.
No, it's happening.
Do not do
Yonko
this
said
to
it
me.
is. It's happening.
It's happening.
Dude, I'm gonna flip.
Yonko said it's happening. It's happening.
So are you reading chapter 30 or have you read chapter 30 already? because I want to talk about this. We might have to make Trey mute for the first time ever.
Really?
But I really want to talk about this.
I've got a show to watch.
I really want to talk about this.
So am I taking my headphones off?
Oh, I am in the middle. I fell asleep a couple pages into chapter 30, so I haven't finished it yet.
Okay, let me see what's at the end of chapter 29 so I can comment. Okay. I know where we're at, so I know what I can talk about. I want to talk about this for a second.
Okay, I'll take my headphones off.
I'll wait. Let's wait until we get to the spoiler part because I have some things that I feel like everybody can hear, and then I definitely want to jump into some spoilers a little bit.
Sure.
But it's your week, Andrew. So you go ahead and tell me what you think so far.
Well, I loved it when I first started reading it, and I was into reading that and Dr. Stone, and for some reason, this past week I felt more. Well, not probably the past 2 weeks actually. I felt more like reading and watching stuff instead of playing games. So that's why I'm trying all this new stuff out. And I got back into Chainsaw Man. I'm gonna get back into Dr. Stone and catch up on that.
Dr. Rocketstone.
Dr. Rocketstone. Crossed over. Make it happen, boys. But Chainsaw Man is so good, dude. There's some heavy stuff in there.
Absolutely. So
and
one thing,
very, very, very lighthearted stuff.
One thing I definitely wanted to mention early is the panels are beautiful. I love the artwork. I think it's fantastic. I love the character design so far. I think that the story is very interesting. And it went a way I didn't think it was gonna go. Because I was reading it and I was like, okay, this is gonna happen. I think this is gonna happen, blah blah blah. And then it takes a hard curve and then immediately got back on track again. And I was just like, I don't know what to expect now because I'm sure this is gonna happen again.
Yeah.
So whenever when the manga first started getting released, I was reading it then. And I think I stopped reading on chapter like 30 because I just had some stuff go on in real life and I stopped reading manga altogether for a while.
Yeah.
So I want to get caught back up. And I'm going to do that very quickly. I mean, there's only 71 chapters. The 71st chapter just came out.
Yeah.
We got another 5 days.
That's easily doable.
Oh, yeah. We got another 5 days before chapter 72. So I'm sure I'll be caught up by then.
Unlike my goal of catching up on Dr. Stone, which is on chapter 152, and I'm on chapter 53.
You burned through chapters. It's fine.
I will say, I'm a little worried about how this will work as an anime.
Okay.
Why?
Because I feel like unless they're just like explicit with some of this stuff, that it may not be like suitable. You know what I mean? Like for the average viewer. They might have. I mean, they could just make it TVMA, I guess.
I'm so sorry. Joe got me. Keep going. I'm listening.
You're good. I'm also kind of worried that depending on how early they start on the anime, that it might not be far enough ahead in chapters for them to be able to like stay on track with the manga. Granted,
Sure.
they're pumping out a chapter a week, but I'm just a little nervous that if they take a hiatus at some point, that they might do like what everyone says Bleach did. Because I know this is going to be popular. I have a feeling deep down inside that there's no way this won't be popular.
I think personally it depends on if it gets seasons or not. Because some shows do, some shows don't, you have like Attack on Titan or Dr. Stone that get seasons, whereas stuff like One Piece, Bleach, Naruto, Black Clover, Fairy Tail, they didn't get. I guess Fairy Tail technically got seasons, but they just kind of kept going,
Yeah.
So
I'm just nervous because this is also the first time I've ever read a manga before an anime came out.
Sure.
And I would absolutely hate to find out that the anime doesn't live up to expectations.
Can we have that discussion for a second? Because I think that's a really interesting discussion to have.
Sure.
The idea of, I love this story. I've read the story. It's really good. They're making an anime. Should I be excited or not? You know? I think that's something that everybody that reads a lot of manga eventually has to deal with. And sometimes you get Kaguya-samas where the anime is top tier and they did a great job with it. And then sometimes you get like Beastars, where I do think some of the art was lost in that transition. Don't get me wrong, I still think Beastars, like, it's pretty good. It's not perfect, but it's pretty good. But I do think some of that style was lost in the transition.
And see, so that was the thing I was going to ask Andrew too. And you've actually seen,
as Jim brings up, that's a very good point.
You've seen the panel where they show what Chainsaw Man looks like, Trey, because I've shown it to you. I'm kind of nervous about how that's going to look animated. I'm a little nervous as to how Chainsaw Man is going to look animated.
Sure. There's legitimately a reason I haven't kept up with the One Punch Man anime, but have kept reading the chapters, is because I'm a little worried about a certain Garo scene. Because in my head, it looks one way, you know?
Yeah.
If I watch the anime, then I'm concerned that it might not live up to that level, you know?
Yeah. Well, so like, without trying to spoil too much, so Andrew, there's a character that has to make a contract with the devil.
Yeah.
That scene, I don't think that will look good animated.
Yeah.
The devil, the way that they drew the devil, amazing. But I'm worried animated, it's going to look terrible.
Why? What makes you?
I just don't like.
Terrible.
I guess what I'm worried about is I'm worried about how they're gonna make, because like it's really hard to explain my issue without potentially spoiling at least how the devil looks.
I can take my headphones off. You can hold up spoiler hands.
I mean, we can do that just in case.
Okay.
So let's
take my headphones off. Chat. He's gonna talk about Chainsaw Man spoilers. I'm gonna take my headphones off, but still be talking in chat. So.
Okay. So when Aki goes to make the contract with a second demon, this is the second demon he's making a contract with, and he sticks his head into the demon's chest to be able to make that contract. I'm worried that that's not going to look right.
Well, I think Devilman Crybaby does really gruesome, gross-looking demons really well. So I think with the right team, it could be done really well.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I could just be over worrying myself. And that's probably what's happening. But I'm just worried that certain demons aren't going to look right, or at least certain abilities aren't going to look right. But man, the bat demon, that's going to look cool.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see that. If you have any other spoilers you kind of want to talk about, I mean, I'm loving where the story's at right now. If you want to talk about that for a second.
What did you think about how much do I have left? And then it says 2 years.
Bro, Aki is a cool character.
Yeah.
And then the moment where okay, this is gonna sound really terrible, but the person, I'm gonna cover up my mouth so that way Trey can't see it. The person that Trey is the most excited about, gives up her life for Hashi. Yeah. That moment had me tearing up, dude. Like I was like, oh my gosh. And then she looks at him and says, "You have to stay alive so you can cry for me." I was like, oh my god, dude. And then Makima's power, like her ability, where she literally is like, she was like, go get, what did she say? She was like, go get me 6 inmates that are like on life. Did you see that part? Do you remember that?
But they're all lined up on their knees.
Yeah, and then she just like splats them.
Yeah,
bro, that's some next level shit, bro. I was like, oh my god, oh man. So Jin, I honestly do think I'm probably just over worrying myself. And unless you have anything else to talk about for story, I'll put my hands down and we can talk about this with everybody.
Yeah, go ahead and put your hands down.
So, yeah, go ahead. You're good. So Jin, I honestly think I'm just over scaring myself. I'm probably, it's probably gonna be fine. I probably have nothing to worry about. But it's almost like my brain is telling me this is gonna don't have high expectations.
I do want to say too.
I agree.
I want to say too that for most people, just because the anime doesn't look as good doesn't mean the manga's enjoyment is taken from them, right?
Yeah.
That is definitely something to remember. I will fully admit that I'm one of the weird people that like my brain is going to go back to the one I didn't like if it's not great. But that doesn't make the manga not as good. The manga's still just as good.
See, I'm starting to understand how people can feel whenever they say like, you know, somebody's like, oh, I didn't like this, but they didn't read the manga, they watched the anime.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then they're like, dude, you got to read the manga, like the manga's really good. And they're just, and then the, that other person's like, nah, like I'm not interested. And it's like the anime ruined it for them.
Sure.
I'm worried that and like I said, to be honest, I'm probably just trying to make myself have low expectations so that I don't get like bummed out. But if this works, this is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Like so awesome.
For sure.
What I haven't seen spoilers, but I've seen like a panel of a character that we're going to meet later, Andrew.
Yeah.
And these character designs are insane.
Yeah.
I'm sure Jen can probably back me up on that. Like some of the artwork, I cannot express enough how much I love the panels. The panels.
I really like how one of the enemies, one of the antagonists, look without saying too much.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I don't even know how to describe it to help you understand who I'm talking about. But
is it the one that you were talking about a second ago with the years thing? That fight?
Oh, I don't remember.
I think that like I honestly think Beastars is the reason why I'm so hesitant now. Where I just noticed that the only problem with this monitor is that my camera gets darker when it gets darker. Because it's auto lighting to it. Because I honestly do think that Beastars is not as pretty as the manga. And I don't mean in like animation quality. I think quality wise it still looks really good. I think it's art style very much. And that's where my fear comes in. Because like the One Punch Man, as Joel put, like One Punch Man season 1 didn't look that great. For me, it's not as much the prettiness of it, because that's whatever. I can live with whatever. I still watch old 70s and 60s anime, but for me, it's the art style, and I think that very rarely does art style transfer completely to anime. I think almost always something has to give to be brought into animation. And there are times where what had to give was more than I was willing to pay personally, And Beastars is the great example of that. For them to be able to do it in the CGI that they wanted to do it in, they could not keep the harsh lines of the original. And so it's very different. And it's okay that it's different. It fills a different niche, right? But I liked the original manga style more. And so the anime just doesn't do it for me. comparatively. And that's the fear that I have with One Punch Man Season 2 is there's one individual panel that I fear they will smooth off more, but I need to just watch it and put up with it anyway.
So here's another reason why I'm nervous. Boruto. Now I know it's not the
Sure.
same writers and all of that,
Sure.
but it's still shonen.
Yeah.
And Boruto manga and Boruto anime are not the same thing.
They're very different story-wise, and they're very different art style-wise.
And that's another thing that worries me is what if they do something stupid like that and we don't get this amazing story, we get something else.
Yeah.
But
hopefully they follow the story. I think it's very rare that they don't, right? I think very rarely do they not follow the story. In fact, top of my head, Boruto is the only one I can think of.
Yeah. I hope it stays that way.
Yeah.
So
we talked about it many times. I could not believe it when you told me the story of the anime.
Dude, and when we started talking about it, I was like, dude, that's not how this is going. Like, I don't think I think you're reading ahead.
No.
And you weren't. That's the worst part.
Oh man.
The manga, yeah, no, two different things.
Yeah.
So Andrew, how do you feel about Denji as a character?
Yeah, I like him a lot. His I like him because of his flaws.
Yeah, no, I agree. Because like
there's room to grow there.
Absolutely. And see, I was worried what was going to happen is as the story progressed, he was just going to kind of like stop being who he was, you know? Because of what happened in his past. His past caused him to be the way he is. And there's a scene where like any normal person would have felt a specific way. And he felt the way that he should have felt as his character.
Yeah.
And they did it perfectly because of the way he's grown up. Like legit. And that's the one thing I think that the manga has done really well is Denji as a character has stayed true to Denji. And I love that. I want to know how you feel about Power, which is the fiend if you the blood fiend if you can't remember the name. I
don't remember.
So she's the one that's like literally with Denji all the time. Like so her
yeah.
The blood fiend. Yeah.
That's a good name. That's a good name.
Her name is Power.
Well, I mean blood fiend is a good name too.
Oh, well, yeah, sure. Yeah. That's what she is. So how do you feel about her? Jen said best girl. I disagree. I 110% disagree. And I'm not trying to start a fight here. I think that she's up there. I think Power is definitely up there.
Up there.
But I don't think she's best girl. Maybe hey, hold on. Yeah, as I say, I don't know what happens in the next 40 chapters. It could change my mind. But as of right now, chapter 34, which is where I'm at, she is not best girl. But we'll see.
All girls are best girl.
You're right. All girls are best girl.
Yeah.
Except in My Hero.
You pig.
Except in My Hero? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Because best girl is Hatsume Mei.
I disagree.
Best girl in My Hero is the little guy who's a perv.
Mineta. No, clearly best girl is Hagakure.
No.
The invisible girl. Oh, I forgot about Mirko. You're so right. Mirko's best girl. Mirko's best girl, hands down.
Nope. Terrible with names, so I'm gonna look it up.
No, I forgot about the other one.
Froppy.
Forget about Froppy. She's not as good as the Dragon Girl. What's her name?
Froppy
is Dragon Girl. The Dragon Girl is so cool. What is her name?
Froppy's best girl. Anyways, I'm not gonna let
her in my head.
I'm not gonna let your
she's so
unrealistic argument take over. Anyways, so how do you feel about Power?
I like her a lot. Once again, she has flaws, and I appreciate that. Instead of just being like this peppy, like you know what I'm talking about, like
yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely.
That whole thing.
The scene that sold me on her,
It's for Yuko.
or the panel, I guess, the panel that sold me on her was when they were like, "Who ate the food?" And she's got crumbs all over her face, and she's just like, "Oh, it was Denji." And the guy's like, "How could you just so blatantly lie in front of us?" And she's just like, "I'm not lying. It was Denji." And then Denji's like, "No, it wasn't." He's like, "Well, Denji told me to do it." And it's like, no. I think she's a contender for best girl, but she's not best girl. But she's great. I love Power. She's really fun. I'm so bad with names. But see, this is the thing. I don't want to look up character names.
Yeah,
because it's going to spoil me. Yeah. But I personally think best girl is the girl with an eye patch. And it's not because of the fact that she has an eye patch, but I just can't remember her name.
I have control. You know what I just realized we should have been doing this whole time?
What?
We should have been doing Kill Your Babies, but with waifus, with best girls.
We should. I'm down. I am totally down.
That doesn't affect me at all because I am not a weeb.
He's just gonna randomly kill off.
I'm like,
that's true.
The one that starts with an R, yeah, she's gone.
Oh man.
What do you mean? Why did I say that?
Eye patch girl. I'm down.
Trey already knows about Eye Patch Girl.
He told me about Eye Patch Girl earlier.
And now he's gonna read it because I mentioned it.
I have to finish Vinland Saga first.
I brought her up.
I have to finish Vinland Saga first.
Yes, that's what I was going to say.
Be biased though, I will be. That's true.
That's what I was going to say. For Jin, I will start Vinland Saga before next week. So I got a lot of watching to do.
Nice.
I will give it a little taste test. See how I feel about it. At the very least, I may watch more than that.
That's true. There is an Eye Patch Girl in Black Clover. I got sent that. I haven't got caught up to Black Clover yet to see, but she's there.
Still though, Chainsaw Man, I think it's fantastic. And I feel like everybody should read it.
Oh yeah, that's how this conversation all started.
Yes, Chainsaw Man.
Yeah, Chainsaw Man. Read it.
It's good. Well, now I feel like it's a race to 71. Let's go, Andrew.
A race? You're already ahead of me.
Let me know when you finish chapter 34 and we'll race. But if you don't read any tonight or tomorrow, then I'm just gonna leave you in the dust.
No, I have to
read.
Reading.
Okay.
Yeah, you just keep reading, and I'll just keep reading, and then we'll see where we end up.
Joel, you're killing me tonight.
I will also be caught up by next week. I feel like I will be at chapter 71 within the next 2 days because I read 20 chapters yesterday.
Hey, so Andrew.
Yeah, you would definitely win that race. I don't have time for that.
Oh, Andrew, I don't either. I should be sleeping, but my brain is just like, no, I'm not gonna let Trey talk. No.
What do you think past me?
My brain doesn't let me sleep. So I'll be up at night until like 2:00 in the morning, wake up at 6, and it won't matter. So it's like, well, instead of playing video games that late, I'll read that late instead because at least I'm laying in bed. So that's what I've been doing.
Hey, Andrew.
Yeah.
What else you been doing in your week?
That's all it's worth talking about.
Okay.
Honestly.
Pat, how's your week been?
So, still reading Chainsaw Man, like I said. I finished The Last Airbender.
Yes.
So, I finally got to see the entire story that I saw bits and pieces of as a child.
Yeah.
The Last Airbender is top tier. Fantastic. The final fight was literally exactly what I wanted it to be.
Okay.
It was in every single way, it was what I wanted it to be. I loved it. General Iroh is literally the greatest character ever, in my opinion. Him and Sokka are my two favorite characters.
Man. Uncle Iroh's so good.
Dude, from the beginning, Iroh is good.
Mm-hmm.
Iroh is good every single episode of that entire show.
There is never a bad Iroh moment.
So I guess this is somewhat spoilers. I don't know if we should be worried about spoilers for this or not. But this might be a spoiler for someone, so I'm gonna raise my hand anyways, just in case.
Like fragile.
When Iroh goes that whole day, they do when they do the short like little stories of everyone, and you get the story of Iroh going through. Dude, I broke big time. Could not watch another episode. I literally sat there in my bed because I was like, Iroh has been through too much.
Do you want me to make that hurt harder for you?
Please don't.
So, the original voice actor passed away, and they had to get a new voice actor. And so they named the son after the original voice actor. So when he's singing that song, it is Iroh singing to his son, and it is the new voice actor singing to his friend, the old voice actor.
You're talking about the new voice actor for Iroh?
Yep.
That's amazing.
Leaves from the vine falling so slow, like fragile tiny shells breaking in the cold.
Dude, that show is top tier. And it's on Nickelodeon. Like, okay, that's the thing that I keep trying to explain to people. Yeah, of course it has problems. Everything in life has problems. Nothing's perfect. Cool, I get it. But this is a show on Nickelodeon that threw gut punches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literal gut punches.
Yeah.
And you're just sitting there like, holy crap.
Sharif is perfect. That is very true.
Okay, you're right. I take it back. Everything has problems except Sharif.
That's true.
Iroh by far is my favorite character.
Yeah, Iroh's great.
I love Iroh. The only other thing I was gonna bring up is the whole tea shop thing. Not gonna get into too many details again for spoilers, but the tea shop little string of episodes.
Yep.
I was so happy.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, I could watch a whole entire show about the tea shop. I'm fine with it. I'm here. I will watch every episode with a smile. Like, I'm here for it. Everybody should watch The Last Airbender. It is super special. It is super good. Great characters.
Maybe I'll get around to it.
You should. Good. It's on Netflix.
I've seen like an episode here and there. I was thinking I've seen an episode like here and there. Yeah, that's it.
So this is the thing. So when I was a kid, my parents didn't have cable, but my grandparents did, and on my dad's side. And every now and then I'd go spend the weekend with them. And when I did, or if I went and like spent time with them after school or something, I'd get to watch cartoons that way, like Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network type cartoons and Disney XD or whatever they wanted to call it at that time. It was just the Disney Channel, then it became Disney XD or whatever. It doesn't matter. So I got to see like an episode here and an episode there when it was originally airing, but I never got to see episodes like in order. I never got to see them like from the beginning. So I knew very little about how the show started. I knew nothing about how it ended, but I knew about random episodes in the middle. And that's it. So this was such a cool moment for me because not only did it give me nostalgia, because it was almost like I'm sitting in my grandparents' house watching cartoons all over again. But I got to appreciate all of the story that I was watching as a kid, as an adult, with like a more mature mind than I'd had at the time.
Yeah.
And like realizing how important those scenes were and what was actually happening behind the scenes. Like the village with that Katara basically saved. That was the village on the water. Dude, I saw that episode as a kid and it meant nothing to me.
Yeah.
But as an adult, I was just like, holy crap. Like, that's amazing. I'm going to stop fanboying. But there's a reason why my Twitter my Twitter handle is now General Iroh, because he's a G. I love General Iroh. I've been trying to catch up on 00.
Yeah.
I'm a lot closer to the end now. I'm catching up. 00 is great. I love it. I absolutely love it.
00 is very good.
Yes, very
What
good.
do you think about how do I say this without spoiling? What do you think about how far are you in again? You said?
So, are we worried about spoilers for me or spoilers for
Spoilers for
people in
you.
chat? Okay, so I have seen the last thing that I saw was the innovators are finally making their presence by the attack on Swen
Yeah.
with the I forget what they call the satellite laser, but starts with an M.
I don't remember.
It starts with an M. I know that for a fact.
I want to say Memento Mori, but I don't know that
That's
for
it.
sure.
Memento Mori. That's for sure it is.
Ha! I got it right before Nathan gave it. I feel good about that.
So yeah. So that just happened, and they're reacting to that now. Like celestial beings getting ready to start sending people.
Yeah.
To go try to destroy the satellite, and then I'm so bad with names. I can't remember the dude's name, but he's the only one that had access to Veda on celestial being.
Tieria.
Yeah, so Tieria starts telling the group, and of course, which is understandable, which I love that they do this. A few of the different characters are like, why didn't you say anything? Like, why are we just not finding out about this? It was like Lock On and I can't remember.
Hallelujah.
I can't. No. I don't think Hallelujah said anything. It's the dude that is now sitting in the front of the ship.
Lasse,
yeah. So he's like, yeah, why didn't you say anything?
Like
and they're kind of confused.
He's pretty good.
And then, great character, by the way. And then, they're kind of like, hey, like, yeah, the Trans Am Riser happens. Like they made that a thing. So I'm super hyped. I think it's going to continue to go down a cool path. I am not as like super hardcore into it as I was season 1.
Sure. You definitely can feel the decline in quality a little bit.
Yeah, season 1 was better. I love that the last of the Trinity family, what's her name? I can't remember her name either.
Naina.
Yeah, so Naina
or Nina,
realizes
depending on your translation.
Realizes that I'm so bad with names. I feel like I'm butchering this because I am. So Naina she realizes that the dude from Azatistan,
Aliel Sanchez,
yeah. So
I love.
She realizes that Sanchez is there and is like they're on the same team.
Yeah.
And she's like now conflicted. Like, am I doing the right thing?
Yeah.
And who's the girl that has all the money that has the bodyguard?
Oh, if you hadn't asked. Oh man, I can see her face in my head, but I can't.
Yeah, she's got the black hair. She's short.
Yep.
Yeah.
Where's the Chinese?
She's a jerk.
Swan Chans.
She's literally just like playing with everybody, and I hate her.
I can't think of her name at all.
I love her
character. Wang Lu
Mei.
Yeah,
that's it. So I love Wang Lu Mei as a character. As far as like, I love her, but it's kind of like I was saying a couple podcasts ago. I hate her, but I love her as a character. I hate her so much, and every time I see that she's getting involved with something, I'm just like, get out of here, get out of here! Like you are ruining everything. But
I gotta turn this off. It keeps distracting me. I'm sorry.
You're good. She's a great character.
I'm sorry.
But she makes me so angry. Even makes the other bad guys think, maybe if this guy is on our team, we're bad. Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah. So, but 00 is really good. I still like it a lot. I don't like it as much as I liked IBO. IBO is still my favorite, and I don't think, based on the way that I think this is going, I don't think that it will be, in my opinion, better than IBO.
No.
But I love it. I still love it. It's still something I like a lot.
You remember
IBO is just something special, though.
You remember the start of season 2 of IBO?
Yeah.
And how that drags really bad?
I will never forget the beginning of season 2 of IBO.
Well, I mean, like, not episode 1, but like episode 7 or 8. Like, by that whole stretch on Earth.
Yeah.
All of that the feeling I had during all of that and how bored I was during all that is how I feel about a lot of season 2 of Double O.
But see, for some reason with IBO, I never felt that way. I never felt like it really truly dragged.
Sure.
Maybe it did, and I was just so in love with it that I couldn't see it. And maybe if I watched it again, I would. But I loved it so much that it was hard for me to find problems with it. But I mean,
Sure.
at the same time, I'm biased. I can't
fair.
say that I'm not biased because I am. But
Sorry.
Double O's good.
I'm gonna get excited again. I'm gonna be my normal self. It's been a very long week and it's been a very stressful week, and it's sometimes it's tough to smile, but we're gonna smile it.
Stuff is not going great right now with everybody.
So, build my energy back up. Please continue, Patrick.
You're good. So Valorant released today.
Yes.
Which we don't necessarily have to talk about if you guys don't want to, as far as like during the
it's your week, man.
news and stuff.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about during the news and stuff.
Oh.
They released a new agent and a new map. Played on the new map. They did not fix the one problem with the game that I feel like is the biggest problem of the game,
Sure.
which is the operator. That gun is ridiculous. There should never be a gun in a game that if you hit someone in that anywhere but the legs, including the arms, that it's an instant kill when they have full shield. That should not be a thing.
Yeah, we talked about this last week, but I still very much agree.
No, yeah, and that is a huge problem in this game. It is huge, and I don't care what anyone says. That is not okay. If the game does not reward you for having like aiming abilities, like you are not rewarded for skill shots at all.
Sure.
Especially because that gun exists. Yeah, and see, I see that, Jen. I still think it's a problem for CS:GO. Like that shouldn't be a thing either.
Careful.
I honestly think that hurts a game more than it actually makes the game better. Because if you're not rewarding, if you're rewarding people, okay, let me put it this way. So the game specifically tells you that hitting someone in the head does more damage, which in turn makes you think, okay, if I shoot this person in the head, if I can click their head and it go then the recoil is not ridiculous, or if I'm not moving or whatever, then I'm going to hit them and they're going to die because it does this much damage. Sorry, excuse me, I'm drinking Dr. Pepper.
Zeke, buddy, stop scratching.
This game does not reward you for that. Because I've had instances where it tells me I've hit someone twice in the head and done only 120 damage. But someone shot me in the chest 3 or 4 times and did 250 damage, which is almost twice as much available health that you can have with a full shield.
Yeah, that's not great.
I personally have tested and proven that the game gives you arbitrary damage numbers. And I understand that the game has it set up to where if you're moving, you can't aim as well. I get that. Because they're trying to say that the spread is going to be worse because the character is not as easily able to aim when they're moving. I get it. But if I'm standing still, and in real life, if I'm standing still holding a gun with the scope and they're less than 100 feet away, on say an assault rifle, which is meant for mid-range combat. If I'm pointing at them, I'm gonna hit them.
Yeah.
It may not be the first shot, but I'm not gonna miss every single one, even if the recoil is ridiculous, because you pull down a little bit and the recoil is gone. Essentially, quote unquote, essentially.
Sure.
No matter how hard I work on the recoil pattern, the spread just becomes ridiculous to the point where like clicking someone's head means nothing in that game unless you're using the operator. And then it's not rewarding you for skill, because if I shoot you in the arm, you die.
Yeah.
You instantly die, even if you're at full shield. And that's a problem. I'm still going to play the game, which I know sounds ridiculous. And trust me, it is. But I enjoy the time that I have playing with some of the people that I play with. And the games that I play where people aren't abusing the operator, it's a ton of fun. And it actually makes me feel like there's a real challenge and I'm being rewarded for skill. But 90% of the time, I don't feel rewarded for skill at all.
Sure.
And I hate it. I hate it so much. And every single person that I play with that's been playing games like CSGO for a while, they're just like, oh, well, you just need to get better. Or, oh, you just need to learn the recoil pattern. Or, oh, you just need to do this. It's like, no. You can't just make excuses for the game giving you arbitrary damage points. You can't. That's not, getting better doesn't fix that. That's not how you fix that problem. It just drives me insane.
Sure.
Like it really frustrates me to no end.
No,
you're good. It frustrates me to no end. League of Legends, however, I personally love that game. I have been playing it even more on my own. They reworked Volibear. That just happened. Volibear looks great. Volibear is cool. I like the new Volibear. I kind of miss the old Volibear, but I still like the new Volibear. I've gotten into ranked.
That's always good for you to play ranked.
Yeah. So I also like the old Volibear. The new Volibear is a tank god. Like he just soaks so much damage. But as long as you use the right items, you can counteract that. But it depends on what, like with the right comp, the new Volibear can be really broken. But that whole team has to work together. And that typically doesn't happen unless they're like in a stack already. And in normals they're not. But I've been learning a new jungle champion. I've been learning to play Sejuani. Sejuani is super fun. They're gonna release a new jungle champion soon. So I'm excited about that. But I have finally figured out how to control my anger with League, and the game is way more fun now. Way more fun. I am no longer banging my desk, and I'm super happy about it.
I believe that.
Yeah, I'll believe it when I see it.
Play with me for a little while, and I'll show you. Like
that would
I know you
require
won't.
me to download League again.
Yeah, I know you won't, but I've just found I don't get upset when I play League anymore. I really don't. I'll get like mad in the moment. That's like technically, I'll be like, hey, like, what the fuck are you doing? Or what are you doing? Why aren't you over here? Why aren't you doing this or whatever? But it's not like it was before, where I'm slamming my desk and then I'm tilted for another game and then I just quit or I uninstall the game.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. But I love playing League. It's a lot of fun. I think the game is really good. I don't necessarily like Riot.
Sure. I know
that you
like
I know that
I know Trey definitely doesn't like Riot.
I know that's your biggest problem.
Yeah.
But I'm really enjoying League again in a very different way than I was before. And it's really cool how my view of League has changed over the past 4 years now, 3 years now.
That's really good. I heard you raging at Valorant earlier, which is why I was like, I don't know that I believe that. But...
Yeah. So Valorant is a whole nother beast. That game makes my cholesterol skyrocket. My blood pressure is like through the roof.
Pat and I were having a conversation, and then I just hear his chair, and then I hear him from a distance scream, and then he sits back down again, and we just continue the conversation.
But that's because, like I said, I got shot in the arm by an operator and died, and he didn't even know I was there. Also, oh my god, that game.
I shouldn't have brought it up. We could have been moved on.
Footsteps is a problem in that game. People don't understand that if you hold shift and run, everyone in the entire world can hear you.
It's a good thing nobody really cares about my week, because we're an hour 15 in already.
We don't have a whole lot of news.
That's true.
Yeah, come on now. This is what people pay for.
Anyways, I do have very mixed views on Valorant. That's obvious. League is fun. I've also been playing 7 Days to Die with a couple of people from work. If either one of you is interested in picking up this game, it would be so fun for us to play. I don't know how much you like zombie survival games.
Yeah, Trey, how much do you like those games?
Do you want me to be honest or do you want me to be nice?
I want you to be honest.
I have a negative appreciation for them. I actively dislike them.
That's fair.
Because of DayZ.
I don't know how I've never played DayZ, so I don't know what this is like in comparison. But this game has stayed in alpha for basically forever, but they are constantly working on it.
I did.
It's
like
probably just never gonna come out of alpha. They'll probably just keep working on it, and it'll never get like an official release. But it's a lot of fun. I've realized how much I genuinely like the game as well. The skill trees are really cool, and depending on what skills you put points into, it could greatly change how you, either playing by yourself or playing with a group, will have to play the game.
Yeah.
Can I dual wield revolvers?
No, you cannot. Sorry. The thing that I found the most fun, and this might sound really stupid because it probably is, but this is just me. So I'm running around, and we'd set up a base at one of the buildings in the city that we're in, and we just started looting the surrounding cities. And there's this gigantic stone that's sticking out of the ground. Now, normally, you just sit there with your pickaxe and just mine the stone until you get it all the way down, and then you can either go down further into the vein of stone, or you just get it to where it's all the way down back to flat earth and then just move on. I instead, for no reason, mined on the bottom of the rock. And what's cool is, as you're mining stuff, it somewhat realistically changes the shape of that thing. So if I were to do what I did, for example, and mine around at the bottom of the entire rock, eventually there's only a little piece in the middle holding up this gigantic stone. And then I chopped down the little middle piece, and all of that stone came crumbling down. And it was a very hilarious moment for me. Mining is fun. I literally mine in that game. In that game I'm playing on that server, my role is mining materials. One of my roles. I'm that, and I'm the hunter. Which hunting in that game is cool because you can crouch, and if you crouch for a little while, you get you'll get the tracks that show up, and then you'll be able to see the animal on your map, and you have to go hunt them, which is a lot of fun. But I think the game's a lot of fun. I really enjoy playing it, but if y'all don't want to play it, I understand. I'll just have to keep playing with that group. But it's a lot of fun.
I don't like that style of game. There are 3 styles of games I just don't enjoy. The survival style game with crafting and things like that. Battle royales. I have nothing. It just does not work for me. And then I just completely forgot the third one. It's
MOBAs.
No, I like MOBAs. Well, I like one MOBA.
Yeah, I was going to say outside of Heroes.
Man, it just completely. I'll think of it again later. The durability argument in chat distracted me. Yeah, no, it's just that type of game doesn't work for me at all. I don't know what it is about it, but I just don't like it. It doesn't. I love crafting things in games. I love like Raft or Minecraft or Stardew Valley or Terraria. Don't Starve. I think all of that is really good. Summer in Mara. I'm gonna talk about that in a minute. I think all of that is really good, but something about DayZ, Rust, 7 Days to Die, all of those just does not work for me at all.
See, like the thing that makes me enjoy 7 Days to Die, I think the most, is that it's literally a 7-day plan. You have 7 days to get your stuff figured out.
Sure, I've
Craft
played it before.
Yeah, I that's the aspect of it that I like, because I thoroughly enjoy, like, okay, we know this wave is going to be a lot worse. We need to try to get our base set up with this stuff that we can now craft, because if we don't, we're going to get overrun and we're not going to have a base and we're all going to die.
Yeah.
That part of it is what I think I like the most, is like just the game planning, then crafting to try to make better things and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I understand where you're coming from with survival games, because most survival games don't do it for me. Like Ark, for example,
Sure.
I don't like Ark. I don't like Ark at all. But I feel like. Go ahead.
Okay, you were very robot there.
I was going to say, I think a big part of it is playing with friends and who you play with.
Yeah, for sure.
I hate survival games, but I played Ark for a little while with some guys from work and some of their friends outside of work, and I had a blast.
Yeah.
But I know I'll never touch it again unless I'm playing with them.
That's fair. 7 Days is also the only game like this that I've been able to play by myself and not feel like it's not feel like it's the same game, but I'm never going to be successful because I'm by myself.
Sure.
Playing 7 Days by yourself almost feels like a completely different game, because
Sure.
it's like because it is literally I'm by myself, so I have to multi-class.
Yeah.
And I have to prepare for a wave that in 7 days is going to come for only me.
But see, for me, in that kind of situation, I would, and this is not trying to say that you're wrong, it's just that I would then rather play something like a Dying Light, or something like, what was the zombie game that was on Xbox?
State of Decay.
State of Decay, or like a Left 4 Dead solo, or like a Gears of War Horde mode solo, where the game is more about the individual combat, or more about the building up defenses than it is about just, hey, craft some stuff. Which
no, that's
is very,
100% fair.
It's very reductive. I'll be the first one to admit that's extremely reductive, but
no, that's totally fair. And I will say I prefer games like Left 4 Dead over 7 Days, but I don't have anyone to play Left 4 Dead 2 with me. Just like I no longer have anyone to play Overwatch with me.
You literally, you take that back. You literally had a friend the other day said he would re-download Overwatch.
Who?
Eric. Eric said he would download it again.
I did not hear him say that he would re-download Overwatch.
Eric was like, I would probably play it again.
I do not remember
and you
that.
Just gaslit him the whole time, and I was like, all right, I guess you don't want to play Overwatch that bad.
I do.
Anyone besides Eric?
No, I completely missed that. I would play Overwatch again in a heartbeat. But
yeah, no, it doesn't work for me. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That was the third. Competitive shooters. Competitive shooters just don't work for me.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
I've played them many times because that's what other people were playing, and they just don't.
So, I think my big problem with competitive shooters is I'm a very competitive person, so I want to be really good at them. And yeah, you know that. And I want to be really good at them. And I love the fact that I can be like, yeah, that person is just objectively better than me. I have to beat them a different way because they're always gonna outgun me, or something, or something like that, where it's like, if we have this comp for this specific map, we can potentially beat this team.
Yeah.
No, like, you know what I'm saying? Like there's other, like, if like Overwatch, for example, you can build a team to try to beat someone that's really good at Widow, for example.
Yeah.
You can put together a team to overcome that and make them have to play outside of their comfort zone. But like games like tactical shooters like Valorant, which I'm assuming based on what people say is a lot like CS:GO.
Yeah, it seems to be.
That game feels like it should be skill based. Like it's based on how well you can see someone and then click them click them in the right spots to be able to do damage while they can't, like, while moving or whatever. And it's not that. It doesn't feel that way. And so I'm on board with not liking tactical shooters, but games like modern shooters like Call of Duty or Siege, and competitive shooters like Overwatch that are like also like characters with skills and stuff.
Yeah.
I love those games. I'll never stop playing those games.
See, it's got to be very specific for me to love it. Like Titanfall 2. It needs to be something that already caters to my tastes
Yeah.
and then gives me a cool SwSh grappling. That's honestly, like, I love the movement in Titanfall 2. That's part of why I play it so much.
See, that's why I thought you were going to like Apex. Because the movement is similar.
Still a battle royale, though.
And that's fair. That's very fair. I think that the best battle royale available right now is Blackout.
Yeah.
I played a single match.
Not
Blackout.
Warzone.
Warzone. Yeah, it was Blackout, and now it's Warzone. It's everything that a battle royale should be, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I appreciate that, Jin. See, if I just can't tell myself that I'm the best me, because then I'll stop being competitive with myself and I'll be complacent, and I have to be better than me every day.
I have the perfect segue into my week right now.
Go for it.
Do you want to know about something else that's about embracing the better version of you, the version of you that you want to be?
Is it Summer and Mara?
Let me tell you about Hugto Precure.
Oh, no. Trey was like, stop talking about games I hate. Move on.
I deleted everything on the now discussing because I was excited for Hug 2. No, so I've been watching Hug 2 Precure, and that's the point of it. The whole point is about embracing the version of you that you want to be, looking past the version of you that you are today and any flaws that you might have or any problems that you might have, and saying, this is not who I want to be. The person that I want to be is better than this, so I'm going to become them. I'm going to embrace that person. I'm going to hug them. It's Hug 2, right? And I will choose to become that person. And however you have to get to that path. Because I finished Hugto Precure this last week, and it was really good.
Congratulations.
And just going to take a nap while I talk about Precure.
No, wait. My eyes are open. I'm awake. My eyes are open, man.
Very good. Obviously, I'll talk about it more in a Tokusatsu check-in. But it was my first Precure season, and I really liked it. It was really enjoyable. I like the characters a lot. The music is great. Yeah, we should. Andrew, you won't like Hugto Precure.
All right, let me look it up.
With that said, since I finished it, obviously I'm looking for the next show to watch after I finish G'd and Lupat. So I put up a poll on Twitter for the next reaction thread that I do. Do you want it to be on Ultraman, on Super Sentai, on Kamen Rider, or on Precure? And I will retweet that poll after the podcast. But for anybody who doesn't know, Precure Sundru, is it Sundere Andrew? For anybody who doesn't know, Precure is animated tokusatsu. And for anybody who's like, it's not toku means that it's live action. It literally is made by the same company and runs in the same time block, including being part of Superhero Time with Kamen Rider and Super Sentai. It's tokusatsu.
What is this? This looks like garbage.
No, it's amazing. You can't troll me. It's amazing. What
are you, a 6-year-old girl?
That's what it looks like it would be for. But actually, it's very good. So it is the animated version. It's very pretty. Later has amazing music, and I'm looking forward to another season at some point. Definitely worth a shot. Tokusatsu means special effects. Special effects of Hug 2, making you feel things. That's it. Yeah. Yeah, it's very good. I think the ending is kind of weak. I guess I should say not the ending. The ending I think is really good. The final fight is really weak. Like Pat mentioned earlier with Avatar, that final fight was everything he wanted it to be. The final fight of Hug 2 was not everything I wanted it to be. But it didn't do the thing I was afraid it would do. So there is at least that. But yeah, look forward to me talking about it more in a Tokusatsu check-in in the future. Got to do one of those for Build and ZO as well. So currently on my list, I've got like 5 Sentai seasons. I've got all of Heisei Phase 1 for Kamen Rider. I've got multiple Ultraman series. And then I've been told some really good things about Alamode Precure and Star Twinkle Precure. So, you know.
Star Twinkle, huh?
Yeah. Precure's aimed to younger girls, but they really do have some amazing episodes and plots and characters. Sometimes it falls a little flat. You get episodes where they convince a mob boss to give back the stolen treasure by saying please. Yeah. I will say, there is a moment in Hug 2 where it's extremely heavy-handed, where an older brother is like, girls can't be heroes. And by the end of that series, he's dating another guy and has completely like come around on his beliefs because he's opened up his heart to other possibilities. So anyway, it's really good. I'm gonna burn through the rest of my week, of course.
Why?
Because we're already an hour and a half in.
So what? We not. We don't have a time limit.
That's true. We are not on a time limit. Yeah, if you want to hear some other thoughts on Precure, you want to see some reaction threads. Joel is watching Star Twinkle and reacting to it on Twitter, and Kat has watched, I think maybe finished a la Mode, and has reacted to it on Twitter. So if you want to check those out. Also, I'm gonna plug this right here. There is a movie called the Superstars movie, that is a crossover movie, and is really good. But then Hug 2 is also the 15th anniversary, so it also has a crossover episode, and the crossover episode has a huge fight that has every Preacher that's ever been show up in it. And so there's these characters that keep showing up, and I'm like, man, that's I should know that character energy. And they're all animated in the way they were animated in their original show, and they all get a chance to fight, and so there's this huge battle. And the final part of that fight is all the main characters from each series fighting one bad guy together, doing sick combo moves, and it's really cool. If you don't care about the show at all but want to see that, it's in my Twitter feed under hashtag HugTay Precure, because I spelled it wrong the first time and then I was stuck with it. So check that out because it's super hype. So anyway, for the rest of my week, I finished Maneater.
Yeah.
Hit the credits?
I did. I hit credits. I didn't get my 100% because the game's bugged.
Oh.
That's about right for this game.
It's 99% with 100% completion in every area, and the trophy won't pop. And so I did a bunch of like crazy stuff that people recommended online to try and make it tick over to 100, and it never did. So supposedly the devs are looking into it on a way to fix it. But that was one of only 30 problems that I had technically with this game. 4 hard crashes. Every single one of those hard crashes was related to a cutscene. So I was.
You're playing
PS4
on
Pro,
right?
Yeah, PS4 Pro. I was incredibly nervous every time I hit a cutscene because of that. Performance was bad. The game is not optimized well on PS4. Low frame rate. At one point, it was stuttering. Like it's at 2 frame rate. And we're just get trying to move. It's rough at times. I do think that the game is still good. It's worth playing, but go into it knowing. I wouldn't pay, even at 40, I wouldn't pay 40 for it right now. I would recommend waiting till like 20. Go ahead.
I forgot about this last week when I was playing it. I realized there's not a lock-on feature.
Nope.
At all. I hated that.
I went on a big Twitter thing about that too, because the lack of lock-on is a huge problem for the combat.
Yeah.
Because you cannot lock on to your enemies, you kind of just are mashing R2 towards them, hoping that you bite them. And because the sea and the rivers and the lakes are full of fish, sometimes you just miss.
Yep.
I honestly think if you want to get through the combat quickly, then go with the electric evolutions, the stunning abilities, because then they can't move and you can get them. That's what I used early on, and combat was way easier. And then towards the end, I went with the shadow set because it lets you swim faster, and I like speed. I'm a speedy boy. Anybody who's played 14 with me knows that I push speed as much as I can. it's really tough to kill some stuff when it keeps moving. I'm fast enough to hunt it down, but it keeps dodging. The dodge is OP. The dodge is very good. You can just negate damage with that dodge. Yeah, it's a problem, but I do still really like it. I think the game is really fun. Finding the collectibles was enjoyable. Do you guys care about location spoilers of some stuff that I found?
Not really.
I found the gate that's locked up and chained up for the kaiju from Pacific Rim at the bottom of the ocean floor. I found SpongeBob's house.
That's cool.
I found the Statue of Liberty, the second one, or the first one, I guess, the one that didn't make it across the ocean. So like, there's some fun stuff in there for sure. I think it's drugged down by those issues, you know. Then there's the problem that the level cap of 30 doesn't feel like it's high enough because you run into enemies that are level 45 and the final boss is level 60.
Wow.
So it kind of just becomes like a health sponge
Dodge
at that
fest.
point. Yeah, you got to dodge their attacks and just keep doing damage to them. At the same time, they couldn't make you much bigger because then you wouldn't be able to fit in all the pipes and stuff like that. And it does have that level of, okay, at the end of the game, I got to go back and get all these collectibles if I want 100%. And there's a lot of them. But I do still think it was really fun. I think the game is absolutely worth playing. There probably will be a DLC level cap increase. I guarantee you there's DLC that adds an area because there's stuff you can see in the distance that you can't swim to because there's a barrier there. So expect DLC for it. Hopefully not until after they fix the issues with it. But
yeah,
we'll see.
So would you say it's the Dark Souls of shark games?
We made the host leave. Now we can talk about the games he doesn't like again. So Valorant, okay?
No, I don't like that either.
Sports.
Also,
sports. Hockey.
Also.
Odyssey is not the best Mario game, chat.
Also, did it switch Trey's location
It
for
moved
anybody else?
me, yeah.
Yeah, that makes no sense.
Nope. I thought for sure it would just turn me whatever, and then I could put the Momotaros gif over top of me, and you guys could keep going.
Nope. Be too easy.
Yeah, no. Maneater is fun. Let me talk to you about another game that is really fun but has problems. I played a lot of PSO2.
Yeah, I'm interested in this.
Phantasy Star Online 2. It's an 8-year-old game. So expect that going in. This is not a up-res. It is just PSO2. This is a garbage fire to get going. In maybe the worst way that it is the first time that I've tried to install a game and I have legitimately just walked away. Said nope, walked away, and then had to come back another day. You have to use the Windows Store to play it on PC.
Oh,
the
gross.
Windows Store is absolute garbage when it comes to installing video games. So the first time that I tried to install it, it installed 3 times all at the same time for no reason. Of course, way too much for my SSD to handle. And so didn't work. So I uninstalled it, tried to reinstall again. It informed me it had already reinstalled when it had not. Uninstalled. Tried again. Told it to uninstall. You know, it wasn't installed. Tried again. It told me it couldn't install because it had already installed, which it had not. Turns out.
I wonder.
Go ahead.
Okay, you don't mind. You say what you're going to say.
Turns out the Windows Store natively installs the files for the game in a separate folder you don't have access to.
Yep. Yes, this is what I was going to say. This is the same problem with PC Game Pass games that I found out like a couple weeks ago. Yeah, it just keeps the files just in case you want to play it again.
Yeah. So
I have over 60 gigs of storage that I can't get back right now. I keep looking for ways on how to get it back. I can't. So far, yeah. I can't get it back. I'm just screwed.
I had to manually go into the folders and give myself access to my own computer so that I could delete that stuff
Bro, you thought you were an administrator?
Yeah.
You're an administrator? Nobody's the administrator.
On your own computer? No.
Microsoft is the
Take ownership,
administrator on your
set permissions. Then I've reinstalled it, and this time it booted. Turns out, you guys might not know this. 8-year-old games, 8 years ago when they made MMOs, they made some very odd decisions. You like characters?
You mean functions?
You like classes?
Yeah,
There's
that's
6
cool.
of them. How many character slots do you think you get?
5.
3.
Yeah.
Oh, even worse.
How many classes are there?
6.
Oh.
You can't try the classes before you choose one, and you can't switch the classes till after you're level 5. So, I put in real money to unlock more character slots so I could try every class for the sake of the video. The classes still play really well. They're still fun. The game still plays well.
If you get it installed.
If you get it installed, yeah. The voice acting's bad in a lot of places. Yeah, for sure. Glad I can write that off. Let's be honest, I would not have done it if I could not. I was already so aggravated. Also, I'm going to get mad. I bought the extra slots. The Windows Store charged me twice and then didn't give me the currency. I had to log into the game, go to the mail, and request my currency before it gave me the currency. Then I could log out and individually buy each character slot. So, I start making my character. I make a cast, the mech race, right? Excited, so excited. I make my guy, I name him Depth Charge. He looks super cool. I love him, right? I hit confirm. The game tells me he's too short.
How is that an option?
So I go back and I make him taller. I wanted him short, but it's okay. I made him taller. The game tells me he's too short. So I went back and I made him as tall as he could possibly be. Literally moved the slider all the way over. Hit confirmed. He's too short. So I stopped the recording because at this point I'm getting frustrated even again. Google it. Preset body number 9 is too short for the US version of PSO2.
Oh, for the US version. Well, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So in the US version, they declared arbitrarily that a preset is too short.
They're like,
look, max them all the way out.
8 is our max.
No,
we cannot.
You can do 8. You can do 10. You can go all the way to 12. Any of the other ones work, but
there's
not
more
9.
after that.
Not 9.
Some dude at just was like, look, I hate the number 9. It is the worst. I want other people to hate the number 9. Let's make it where every time someone chooses the number 9, they're too short.
So then I tested it with every other character that I made. For every race, preset 9 was too short. So I went with preset 10 and I made my character. Gameplay wise, it's still really good. The voice acting is rough. It is very strange to, like, they don't even try to lip sync it. It's very rough. The, like, handler guy that you have, Alphen, is Australian for no reason. Which is, like, I don't have a problem with Australian people. It's just really weird that he's just decidedly Australian.
Yeah.
I think the game still plays really well. It's a lot of fun, but there's so many hoops you have to go through to get it working. And it's just like, why? Why make this so hard?
Yeah, at what point is it worth it?
So I don't know that I'm going to play much more, because at the same time, it very much still is an 8-year-old game. Do you want to level up quickly? Go do the raid that's way higher level than you and just try to survive. Just like in older games. Do you want to level up slowly? Go do the quests that are assigned for your level. You get so little XP in those quests, and you get so much in the raids. And the fact that the raid goes, because I've remembered this from when I played before, the fact that the raid goes, hey, you got to be level 10 to get in here. And I'm level 2, but I can get in there. And by the end of it, I'm level 14. It's like, why would I do anything other than this?
Yeah, exactly.
So, PSO2, The video will be going up sometime in the next 2 weeks. There's some big issues with that game, but it is still fun if you want to put some time into it. Just know going in, you got some problems. You got some stuff you're gonna work with. You know what doesn't have that problem? Xenoblade Chronicles 1 Definitive Edition.
Ooh.
So sometimes the lip sync is a little rough in this as well. However, the voice acting, I think, definitely makes up for it. It looks beautiful. It plays really well, and there's a ton of quality of life features. You now have some of them that like should have been in the old one. You can now see your health bar.
Why would you want to do that?
That's kind of important, you know.
Nah.
Yeah, that's kind of a big deal.
I will be right back.
Okay. They have advanced. It moved us again. I don't know why.
What in the world?
What's going on? Why would you? Oh my gosh, I'm so. They have added better map usage where you can actually like see the quest more easily. Yep, my name is Pat now. I gotta hold on. So I'm Pokedaddy. I like Pokemon, and I like sports and League. I play so much League. I play League all day, every day. In fact, there are times where I could be playing other games that come out this year for Game of the Year, but instead I'm playing League. Gotta play League all day long, baby.
Yeah, I could play Deep Rock Galactic with my friends, but no, baby, I'm playing League.
My mains are Vagar and what else does Pat play? Pantheon and Draven. So Xenoblade Chronicles.
First of all, I already told you guys why I'm not playing games that have come out this year. Second of all, I don't play Vigar. And third of all, someone's not inviting me to play Deep Rock Galactic. I wonder who that could be.
You see me online. You see me playing. You just hit join game.
Hold on, bro. I ask all the time, hey, does anyone want to play anything? And I get ghosted.
Well, that's because you asked before like 10:30 at night.
So you do the same thing, and I'll be like,
Real quick.
oh man, dude, Andrew's on. I have to go get on.
Real quick, chat wanted to hear your me impression, Andrew.
I'm not in the spot anymore. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, that's unfortunate.
You know what? Now that y'all were being mean, Shari's going back.
No, he's so chonky.
I can put you back in my spot. That's the thing that I can do if I just do this. There we go. You're back in my spot.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Full Spectrum Podcast. My name is Trey.
And
Andrew,
I'm Pattrick.
it's your turn, you idiot. You moron, Andrew. You piece of shit. You human filth.
I forgot to turn my camera back on. I'm sorry.
Why do I sound like I'm just strung out on drugs when I'm here for the first time?
I don't know. There we go. Anyway, yeah, Xenoblade's really good. The new character model's look incredible. For anybody that was like, oh, I don't like the new way they look. Fiora looks so much better in this than she does in Xenoblade Chronicles 2. In Xenoblade Chronicles 2, she's got like this soft look, and Fiora was never soft. She's actually pretty vicious. And so here she's got this look of like, yeah, that's cool. I'll stab your face off though. And it's like, okay, yeah, okay. Like, it's great. It's great. Combat's still really good. The music has been remixed and redone, reorchestrated. Oh, my heart. The music is so good.
I want to play this.
It is amazing. I do have to say that, you know, it's been reorchestrated. It's a new soundtrack. It could win soundtrack of the year.
No.
It could.
No. We go through this all the time. Look, Trey, just understand that your games don't have good soundtracks.
Yeah. It's just like Nier It's like Near Automata.
I'm Trey, and all my games have great sound. I'm Trey. See, you don't like it, do you?
When have I ever been like, oh, your games have bad, my games have good soundtrack?
No, you were like, I'm Pattrick. I play League all day.
Yeah, I got you. I will also say Persona 5 Royal has brand new tracks in it that could qualify for soundtrack of the year. Xenoblade 1, Persona 5, couldn't take it. Also, Shulk's voice actor still does an incredible job. That game is really good.
I hate to tell you this, but best soundtrack is going to Helltaker.
Helltaker does have a very good soundtrack. I put it in the nominees as soon as I finished it. The last big thing that I have in my week is that I played the Summer in Mara demo, and you want to talk about a good soundtrack?
There's the demos out?
Yep, the demo prologue is out.
Is that on PC or Switch?
PC.
Okay. Really? Okay.
I'm downloading it right
here.
now.
It is very short.
That's okay.
But it's very good.
Tell me
that. Because it is just a demo. Joel should play Helltaker. Helltaker's really fun.
I want the full game
as a good
demo.
game.
Helltaker is so good, and it's free.
Yep. Very good puzzle game.
Well, it took me... What? It took me 30 minutes?
Something like it.
minutes?
You beat it faster than I did. You're better at puzzle games than I am.
I disagree. You beat the level that I couldn't beat until after I beat the game.
That's fair. Full game's coming June 16th, yeah.
Nice. Coming up soon. I like that. I might just wait for the full release.
It's a very good demo. It's very nice.
I have to play the demo.
Very pretty. Dang it, I have to play the demo.
I legit have to play the
definitely worth playing. I don't want to spoil too much for people, but if you look at this game and go, well, some of the textures don't look great, so I don't think it's worth playing. Try the free demo. Just give it a shot, because, again, I've been on record many times. I don't care about graphics. I literally don't. I still think it's a very pretty game.
2 questions.
Yes.
Are we for sure getting the same day release on Switch?
I do not know.
That's a good question. Second, based on your gameplay on PC, do you think it will have problems on the Switch? Because that's always a concern. I don't care what anyone says. I love the Switch, but that is always, in my opinion, a legitimate concern.
I do not think it's graphically intensive enough to be a problem on the Switch. I could see some stuttering, but I don't think it will.
So as long as they did the compressions right, we should be good.
Yeah. Also, Jen and Adri both say same day.
I'm probably gonna buy this on the Switch. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
I don't blame you.
I'll see. Well, hold on. Let me see how it plays on PC first.
I want to tell you one thing. You can pet the pigs.
Game of the year.
It might be a game of the year. Here comes everything.
Real quick, there is one thing I forgot to mention about PSO2, that it's its official first year release in the US. It could win Game of the Year.
No.
You can put an eye patch on the mech.
No.
On the mech, people.
But
you can put an eye patch on them.
Too small.
That's true.
You have to be able to install the game to be able to give it a fighting chance. No.
Dang it, you're so right. Windows Store has ruined eye patches.
It hasn't ruined eye patches. It's ruined PSO2. Big difference.
Yeah, how come there's not... Hold on, Trey. You're the master here.
Okay.
Is there an anime or a manga where a mech, like a Gundam-like mech, has an eye patch?
Yes, Gundam Age. The Age 2 Dark Hound has an eye patch. Because it's a pirate.
Oh.
Wait, doesn't Lock-On's...
So it has a visor that comes down. It's not an eye patch, but it has a visor.
Okay.
Well, hold on. Hold on.
You looking at pictures of the H2 Dark Hound right now?
Is Age good?
Part 1 of Age is really good.
I was about to say,
The Dark Hound looks awesome.
So part 1 of Age is top tier. Top 5 if it was just that the whole time. Part 2 of Age is pretty good. It's like mid-tier. Part 3 and 4 of Age are absolute garbage fires. But the first 2 parts are really good.
That's good. That is great to hear. They had it ported identically to the Switch, so it probably runs really well.
That's a good point. Not the pilot. The mech is a pirate. When no one's around, it says things like "R" and "Avast." Avast ye, I be the Age 2 Darkhound.
I mean,
So, 2 hours into the podcast, you guys want to move on to reviews?
No.
we really have to.
I'm gonna go get Sharif.
We're going to talk about that in a little bit, Kat.
Again. You know what that means, boys and girls.
We're going to talk about Isle of Armor coming up in a little bit, but I am really torn on it, and I'm curious what everybody else says. It's actually the next thing after the one review we have for this week. So, our one review that we have, because Valorant's reviews didn't drop early enough, and Last of Us 2's reviews drop next week, is for Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition. Oh, look at him. Look at him. Look at him. What do you guys think? Do you think that Xenoblade Chronicles 1 Definitive Edition got a pretty good score? Or a pretty bad score? What are you thinking? 91?
Yes, a 91.
What is this again?
Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition.
I didn't hear.
The very first Xenoblade Chronicles game, the one I was talking about a minute ago.
86.
86, okay. Jin's got a 95 on the board. 89. Ben's going to go 88. Push the button. Said we could go. The score is 89.
Okay.
And I'll tell you right now, it would have been a 90 if not for IGN.
We'll get to that in a little bit.
We're going to talk about the IGN review for sure.
Andrew
We
got
have to.
on the dot.
Yep, on the dot, Andrew. What do you think the recommended score is? Jin says she cheated.
Recommended score.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say.
Cutie Marie was so tiny.
I'm gonna say 95.
Okay, Pat, what do you think for the recommended?
I was also thinking somewhere around there. I'm gonna say 92.
Okay, chat, I'm pushing the button. This is your chance. I want you all to know it hurts my soul every time I push this button. Said we could go. 96. Adri got it again on the
Okay,
button.
she really is cheating though.
I have to, Joel. I have to. 100% cheating. It is. It's 96. 89 and 96. So it said he could go. So let's get into some of these reviews. Xenoblade Chronicles 1 Definitive Edition. People seem to really like it. Let's hit the highest score, the bottom score. If I see any of our normals, I'll hit that, but then we're definitely going to talk about IGNs because we have to. VG247 gave it a 5 out of 5, top marks. Says, it's true that some of the original game design's frustrations remain untouched. Your performance is solid, but sadly not perfect. These things barely matter, though. Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition is easily a must-own for any RPG fan with a Switch. And I agree. Let's go all the way to the bottom here and hit PC Mag, who gave it a 3.5 out of 5. Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition is a faithful port of the original Wii JRPG, but with a higher resolution and a big extra campaign, which sounds like pure praise and doesn't explain their score at all.
Gotta love it.
So let me scroll through here, see if we got GameSpot at a 9 out of 10. Said Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition makes smart upgrades to the original game while adding a fantastic new epilogue that makes the journey well worth taking a decade later. We have Daily Star, our friends over at the Daily Star, gave it a 4 out of 5. Said, while certain elements haven't aged as gracefully, such as its bland quest design and sparse open world, Quality of life improvements set to make the adventure as fluid and accessible as possible. If you've ever been interested in the series, this is a perfect entry point for a sweet and engaging adventure. Veteran players will no doubt find much to love in the expanded story with the future connected, which is a pretty good review. It's a pretty good blurb. So, let's talk about the IGN review. IGN gave it an 8 out of 10. The new future connected story chapter isn't particularly inspired, but the impressive graphical overhaul and welcome, if small, quality of life improvements make this the best version of Xenoblade Chronicles we've ever had. You may say, well, that doesn't sound like a negative review. Why are you upset, Trey?
That's not negative.
They gave this an 8 out of 10. Said it's the best version of Xenoblade Chronicles they've ever played. The 3DS version has a 9. The Wii version has a 9.5. This is the best version of the game they've ever played, but it scored 1.5 points lower than the original Wii version. So, this is the problem with scored reviews, right? The reviewer, I'm sure, genuinely believes that the best version of this game he's ever played. Did not check his original score at all.
Or it wasn't the same guy.
I think it is, but I'm not positive on that. I didn't look at names, but like, sure, right? That definitely happens. That's why you shouldn't do score reviews. That's not the only problem with this review, though. So IGN did a video review on this, and this is more of just a gateway to talk about. I don't know how long we want to spend on this. We don't spend very long at all. But this is not me like going after somebody specifically here. It's more a gateway to talk about it. The video review they did is rough. It's not great. They mispronounced multiple characters' names. Which, sure, maybe that's the person who read it was different than the person who wrote it. But surely the person who read that review is going to get back to like, listen to that, right? Before they publish it. To make sure that the information's correct. They also did footage of just the last area of the game, including with a major spoiler in the footage. Which is a problem with a lot of Xenoblade reviews. That's always been a problem with this game. There's a really big spoiler that is very easily avoided by just showing footage of the early game or the mid game. But every review seems to show footage of the late game. That said, the big problem that I have is that they don't bring up in that video review any of the quality of life improvements. Any of them. They're just talking about the original game again. And it's just like, how do you not bring up any of that stuff? Like, they've added so much quality of life that, like, multiple reviews said, if small, it's not small. You can now de-level if you do all the side quests and feel like you're too powerful. You can change the time of day at whim to be able to hunt down different monsters that you might have missed before. You can, I'm trying to remember the whole list of them. You can mess with your skill trees without having to individually change the characters now. Equipment, like, always showed up on characters, now shows up much easier. Items are now spread out more throughout the world, so that you find more items while you're exploring, so the world doesn't feel as barren. There's just, like, so many small changes that were made that altogether build up to be this big one. And then there's a whole nother, like, epilogue added on. And so to score it less than the Wii version feels really weird to me. And then to call Rhine Rain and Dunban Duncan. It's like... So, that's my problem with that review. If you feel like I'm being too aggressive on this guy, please let me know, chat, because I definitely feel like I am. But those seem like small, like, little mistakes, but there's so many of them in one review that it's like, I don't like that. I'm just asking for, you know, the most popular gaming review site to maybe not do that.
To not suck? Good luck with that.
I'm not saying
that for a long time.
I'm not saying I don't make a lot of mistakes, because I do, but
you also aren't one of the most well-known game reviewing companies.
The real reason why it bothers me is because they pulled the review down. They pulled it down. They pulled the video down and redid it, and all they changed was saying Rhine and Dunban instead of Duncan. That's all they changed. They changed the names to be right. So they pulled it down. They saw the complaints. They pulled it down and had the chance to fix all of it. All the complaints, and didn't. They just fixed the names and put it back up. which means they saw the comments talking about how it was spoiling stuff, and they left the spoilers in there. I don't know. That bothers me. But we'll move on. We'll move on, and I'll stop beating this horse.
No, it's IGN. That's literally the problem.
So, let's talk about the Pokemon Sword. I didn't change this deal. It was on Xenoblade Chronicles 2 in my week the whole time. I'm such a fool. Let's talk about Pokemon Sword and Shield Isle of Valor.
Yeah, what's this?
Isle of Valor, Isle of Armor is the DLC, the expansion. Coming out June 17th. Are you guys going to get it?
Probably not.
I haven't even touched the Pokemon game that I own, Pokemon Sword.
Yeah.
So no.
I will probably... Like, I'm really torn. I need to get it to make a video on it, right? But there's not a buy both pack. Like, each game has its own expansion. And I don't want to buy them both. I don't think I should have to. Why is it separate? That said, I have both. I have Sword and Shield. I don't want to buy both expansions. I shouldn't have bought both games, but I did. I don't know. I might pick up the one for Sword since it's the one that I beat. Right, I haven't beaten Shield because I was waiting for Pokemon Home so I could do a Dragon only run, and then Pokemon Home came out with all the restrictions on what you could do with it, and I just never did. I honestly do still think the Pokemon Home stuff is garbage. I don't like that at all. Having to pay to be able to have more than 25 Pokemon to transfer at a time. That number might be low. It might be a lot higher, but I didn't like that at all, and so that's why I never played through Shield, even though I own it. I'll probably get the one for Sword just to be able to make a video on it. And I'll be fair with it, just like I have been with anything else that I wasn't too fond of. But the further away from Sword and Shield I've gotten, the more that I've gone, I don't like the choices that Nintendo made after the game came out. When it comes to how this DLC is done. I still 100% believe you could have just bought a DLC pack, and whatever game that you have is the version of the DLC that you get. Instead of selling them both individually. But that could just be me. Maybe that's not an issue for other people. I want that new Pokemon. That new Pokemon looks cool. I want to see the new characters and run around with all that. But, you know. Yeah, I agree with that too. Sword and Shield being full price and then, you know, the DLC being on top of that. It's not great. But I also like playing Pokemon. So the thing that I'm waiting on to figure out which one I'm going to get it for is levels. If I get it for Sword, can I still use my Pokemon in it? I know that for some stuff you'll have to use the new Pokemon. They said that, the tower. But like, do I use my end of the game team or what? You know, so we'll see.
I think it's really frustrating how Sword and Shield has kind of become.
Yeah.
Because I was so ready to be on board and not
new console Pokemon, man.
Huh?
New console Pokemon. It should have been a great, exciting thing.
Yeah. And it just turned into exactly what I didn't want it to be.
I still think the game was really fun.
Yeah. I don't dislike the game, but I don't like it as much as I thought I did. If that makes sense. And I feel like the DLC part of it hurts it a little bit too.
Yeah, and as Otaka brought up, it's extremely confusing for people that haven't been keeping up with it. Like, can you imagine? Grandma bought, like, little Johnny Isle of Valor, and he's got Sword, or he's got Shield.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's not great. That's not great. Just like the Xbox One, I stand by the fact that is only confusing customers. So yeah, that's the thing. I'm interested, you know. I'm interested. But I don't need Tim Tim. I've got Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth if I ever need a monster collecting game I can go back to, and Dragon Quest Monsters 1. You need to collect some monsters, those are the two games to do it in. I'm just saying. So Total War Troy was announced.
Yeah, so this is weird. They announced this. I didn't get to read a whole lot about it. I mainly wanted to talk about how apparently for the first month, it's an Epic Game Store exclusive.
Okay.
So yay for that. But for the first month, it's free?
Is that free as in if you get it that month, you have it forever, or free as in you can only play it for free for this month no matter what?
I was trying to read about it when we started the podcast. Let me see if I can find.
Jen, I would say...
Yeah, free to keep during that first 24 hours. The first 24 hours, sorry.
Okay.
So if you download it within the first 24 hours, you get to keep it for free.
That's a really strange decision.
Uh-huh.
I don't know, like I should be excited for that. I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, it feels weird. Like I'm gonna get it. I mean, why not? But it just seems weird because Total War is a big franchise.
Yeah. I agree with Jen and Band, by the way. I think it absolutely is it is confusing, and also if it happens, whoops, if somebody buys the wrong DLC. So, yeah, Total War Troy. I have not kept up with the Total War series at all, other than Total War 3 Kingdoms.
I have recently downloaded because Warhammer had a big sale over the weekend on Steam. So I downloaded some DLC, or I bought some DLC for Total War Warhammer 2. I'm going to get back into that.
I don't like the way the Total War games play anymore. 3 Kingdoms should have been it should have grabbed me, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you can play hero mode in there where your characters live longer and are awesome in combat. But the thing that always broke it for me is the city management is not well fleshed out in those games. And the city's happiness is so hard to keep up.
Yeah.
Where the cities just start rebelling against you. And it's like, bro, I don't care about those cities. I just want a war. I want to watch Zhao Haodun kill people while he's got a sick eye patch. That's all I care about.
Well, if you want war, then you want to play Total War Warhammer.
Or I could play Dynasty Warriors 8, not 9.
And
play
as 9.
Zhao
Get the
Haodun.
newest one. Get the newest one.
I can play Warriors Orochi 4 Ultimate and play as Zhao Haodun. So yeah, that's a thing. Still continues to be a thing. That said, you guys want to talk about some delays?
Let's do it.
The Sony event has been delayed.
I have mixed feelings about this.
I understand why they did it. I support their decision. Would have been nice to have some good news pop up, but I understand why.
It would have been nice for them to still give us something. I understand the reason, and I'm for the reason. But they could have been like, hey, we're not going to have a full event. But
Well, they're still going to have the full event.
Oh, they are? Okay.
Yeah, they're just moving the event back.
I didn't know that. Okay. Well, maybe we'll get more.
Probably not, but maybe. Activision also delayed the new season of Modern Warfare during all this. I understand exactly why, you know, but
you can't blame them.
I 100% agree with Kat, though. If they had just done it anyway and donated ad revenue, that would have been way cooler.
Yeah.
Put Modern Wise instead of Modern Warfare like a dummy. But, you know. So, I understand. This is the last real, big news topic. There's one other that has a thing with it that I think will be fun to talk about. Ubisoft doesn't know how words work.
Okay.
Well, Square Enix donated $250K. That's really good. I'm glad to hear that. Ubisoft. Let me read this off for you. Ubisoft says Trackmania is not subscription-based. You just have to pay for it multiple times. Their quote is, actually, it's not a subscription model, but an access to the game for a limited time. You pay for having access to the game for one period, and that's it. When the time is over, you have to buy the game again for the time you want to access it again. Which is
If
a
only
subscription
there
model.
was one word that described that idea.
So you pay for Trackmania for a year, and then next year you pay for it for another year.
Subscription.
So
The action of making or agreeing to make an advance payment in order to receive or participate in something.
I do remember when loot boxes were surprise
So-
mechanics.
So not only are they stupid, because that's literally the definition of a subscription. They made it sound worse
Yeah, they super
by
made it
saying
sound
you
worse.
have to buy the game more than once.
Yeah.
Second definition, an arrangement by which access is granted to an online service.
They're going to name it Yearscription, though. So I think it's finally time for us to bring back an old segment that we haven't done in a while. Ubi, please.
Ubi Please is back. Oh no.
It's just like no. We're not putting microtransactions in there. What it actually is an opportunity to buy things for the game.
Look, we're not saying you have to pay us multiple times within a time period in which you will have access to our product. We're just saying that you'll have to pay us sometimes, a couple of times, a few times, periodically throughout the time that you want access to our stuff.
We're not saying that you have to download a separate launcher to be able to play our games on PC. We're just saying that we have a better option for you to play games on PC.
We're not saying that you need to download a launcher and buy the game off of that store's launcher to then download another launcher to be able to play our game.
Fuck.
But what we are saying is you get the game for free.
Yeah. Oh, Ubisoft. Ubi, please. Oh, man.
Seriously, though, that's really stupid.
Yeah.
Like, that's beyond stupid.
So like Andrew said, they made it worse. We all agree to pay subscription fees because the way we look at it is this is to be able to keep the servers going. But instead, they worded it, pay us again. Not keep the server going, buy the game again.
You're not paying a subscription. You're just giving us your money.
Yeah.
Periodically.
I cannot wait to see the YouTube videos that come from this. Yeah, no, for sure, Joel. How did this get through? How did somebody be like, this is a good thing to say?
Dude, that's bonkers.
Yep.
That's absolute bonkers.
Yep. It reminds me so much of like the way that The Last of Us dev, Neil Druckmann, has talked about the game. Like, we've added new mechanics, including jumping. It's like, oh, all right. Somebody probably should have stopped it, but okay.
Look, I know you've never seen it before, but you can jump for the first time in our game.
Jumping. It's like, that's how he said it too. Jumping. It's like
that's
you
like
guys
how
made Uncharted,
Apple
though.
treats stuff.
Yeah, that's exactly how it is.
Where it's like, oh no, this is a first. Like,
look,
this is the first iPhone to have blank, and it's like, well, yeah, but that's been out for like 6 years on Android.
Yeah.
Look, we know
And I say that as someone who has an iPhone.
Yeah.
We know that you don't like your monitor just sitting on your desk. So we decided to make this thing called a stand. Okay? And you put the monitor on the stand. Yes, it's $1,000.
Nah.
It is $1,000, but your monitor is no longer sitting on your desk.
God, I forgot about that, Pat.
Yep.
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 thing, dude.
That actually happened. Yep. Yep.
I will
I
never
forgot
support
about
that
that.
company ever again. They are hot garbage. I don't care what anyone says. Look,
Monitor.
man, look. I know, I get it. We all do it. You know, your monitor's just sitting there on your desk, face down or face up, but like laying on the desk, and you gotta look down over it. Imagine if you had a stand. We're innovators. $1,000 though. Okay,
So-
$1,000. You're paying for the brand.
You got to pay for quality.
You're paying for the brand.
Joel is so right too. We got to move to the new currency. Ear picks. Sony wanted them. Ubisoft, clearly we send them the ear picks. We get access to Trackmania. That's how it works.
The more earwax, the higher quality.
The longer you get access to Trackmania.
You got hairs, you get DLC for free.
Yep, you get cosmetics.
Sorry, I was so close to getting on an Apple soapbox.
No,
So
that's
close.
fair. That's fair. Joel brought us back with ears.
I'm so glad you did that
That
because
makes
I was ready to flip my desk. Hey, hold on. I was just making a joke about Ubisoft, okay?
I
Don't
need
pull
I
me
need
into
that
that.
meme to stick. I need that meme to
Do
stick.
not pull me into that. I
Oh.
legit hate ears. I know this is like getting into personal life. I hate ears. I think ears look weird in every way, shape, or form. If ears didn't exist and we just had holes in our head, I'd be fine.
I don't know that I agree with that.
I think ears look really weird.
No, I don't agree.
So I have a weird.
Someone gets me. Ears, knees, pinky toes, all of them. All of them. I don't like them. I don't like them. Get them out.
So
Throw 'em away.
my weird thing is noses. No,
Yeah,
I don't
like
think
noses either.
I don't think noses are weird. But if someone has a nose that is slightly off in any way, I'm like, oh, they got a honker on them. That's the first thing I notice. If I look at somebody, the first thing I notice is somebody's nose.
So you know what else I hate? I hate feet. And
Well,
like
yeah.
to the point where like, so my mom when I was a kid would like tickle my feet.
I feel like this is
And-
going somewhere I don't want to go.
Uh-huh.
When, like I can't stand people's feet touching me or being near me, and I don't like looking at them. Like I will wear socks at everywhere if it means that I don't have to look at my own feet because I just hate feet.
Now Andrew can't see my honker of a nose.
No, you don't have a weird nose. I would tell you if you had a weird nose.
Thank you, buddy.
He's a
Thank
good
you.
friend.
Thank you.
But
I
hey, Trey,
accept you no matter how you look, but thank you.
A foot unfetish. If it is a thing, that's what I've got. I've got the opposite of a fetish.
Rate your co-hosts on the weirdest parts of their faces. Mine are my teeth, clearly. Or my swoop, my curl.
We should not do that.
Thanks, Kat. Thanks.
everything about me. It's too hard because you look at me and you throw up immediately.
Same.
Put that thing
I've legit broken someone's camera. Not like completely, but like they pulled out the camera on their phone and they like pulled it up where they were gonna take a picture of me and the app crashed. Like
Wow.
hard crash. And I was
Wow.
like, look, if I ever needed more justification of how ugly I am, I got it. I
don't
got
think
it
you're ugly,
right
Pat.
there.
I don't think you're
Huh?
ugly.
That's okay. Not
Um,
everybody's correct.
If I had like a weird thing, I guess my only problem is voices. Like if people have a voice that I don't like, it's really hard for me to talk.
Oh, that's me.
Dude,
That's,
when
I hate my voice.
when
I
people's
like your
voices
voice.
don't match their body, I get that. It's kind
See,
of
I don't have
weird.
that problem. For me, it's like maybe it's just because my hearing is really good, but like if people's voices are too high or too low, it's just like it's tough talking to you.
I feel like when I listen to a recording of myself, I sound like I am half drunk, half stoned, 100% of the time.
I fully agree with chat. Everybody hates the sound of their own voice because
I
we
think-
don't sound the way that we think we sound.
Yeah.
I think it also has to do with how like our ears are connected to our mouths.
Well,
Yeah.
technically.
And your brain is supposed to like. It's supposed to when you talk. Yeah, when you talk, it comes ears. When you talk, like your brain interprets it a different way to try to like drown it out.
So like in my head, I sound like a distinguished gentleman. That's why I use a lot of big words. Editing, I sound like a country hick.
My God.
There's a moment in the Maneater video where I'm like, "Oh, look out, an alligator!" is what I think I said, but in actuality, I said, "Look out, there's a gator!" And I listened to it and I was like, "Ah!"
Do me a favor, Trey. Say Carol Baskins.
Carol Baskins.
Hey, she killed her husband.
Dude, no lie.
I still haven't seen that show.
I also haven't, and I won't. I will not watch it.
That's fair.
I have no drive to. I could care less. I'm not gonna watch it.
That's fair.
I've had so many people in real life come up to me and be like, "Dude, have you seen this?" And I'm like, "No, no, I'm not gonna watch it." And they're like, "Oh, it's so good," and I'm like, "Cool. I'm glad you enjoyed it." And they're like, "Why aren't you gonna watch it?" And I'm like, "I have no drive to watch a show about Joe Exotic. I don't care. Like, I just don't. I'm not interested."
It's not the kind of live action, low effort effects that I like. One last thing on ears, real quick. I don't like it when people mess with my ears. Like, my dad cuts my hair now, and I get him to do it because if I go to somebody to cut my hair, if I go to a barber or hairdresser, like then they hit my ears as they're going, and they'll like push their thumb against it, and my whole body just goes, "No, leave my ears alone."
I feel that.
Putting someone to dress up in a rubber suit, yes. To fight a tiger, you kidding me? I'd watch that. But
Whoa, what happened, guys?
What?
It says
just Pattrick
Just
used.
Pattrick.
Yeah, it's only in the mod chat, but
Well, it's because somebody said something
Oh,
that chat
I
was
got
not
it,
sure
yeah.
about, so
I
just
got it.
allowed it.
okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Again, that's on mod chat. Nobody else can see that.
Now, hold on.
Tiger gets a man.
If the tiger,
I'm down.
I would watch that. That's a completely different show.
I am down.
If you mean to tell me it just leads to this moment where this person and this tiger are just like, look, tiger's like, I've had this for too long. I'm putting on the luchador mask.
Yes.
And I'm getting in my mech and we're gonna fight. I'm here for it. Mech wrestling.
Yeah, I was about to say, I love how he puts on a luchador mask like he's going to wrestle, and then he gets in a
mech wrestling.
Evil Tiger from the future comes back too. I'm down.
Dude, I would watch.
Evil Tiger
wrestling.
has an eye patch.
Joe Exotic has an eye patch.
We have two.
No, he doesn't.
We have two stories we have to write. One about F1 Uno.
That's true. That still needs to happen.
And one about a tiger versus a man.
You forgot, didn't you, Andrew?
Mech wrestling.
Yep.
No, this reminded me of something I wanted to talk about in my week. F1 Uno.
Yeah.
Marbella 1. Named after Formula 1 is Marble Racing.
Okay.
And the production values for it are off the charts for what it is. And this guy commentating it has me like leaned in like, oh no, Balls of Chaos. No, but I just passed Balls of Chaos. Come on, you gotta. No, we dropped the third place. It gets me into it. I've been watching a little bit at work while I'm working on stuff. It's amazing.
This is the production of, okay, I'm 10 seconds in and I'm like, this looks professional. What is this, Andrew?
Tiger
what
theme
am I
philosophies.
watching?
I'm down.
It's amazing.
So
I'm gonna skip ahead.
Real quick, you mentioned mecha earlier, and I thought about it. There's a character in Precure that gets in a mech, and when he calls in the mech, he goes, "Victory dun dun mecha," and pushes a big button, and then the mech shows up, and it's really cool. I just wanted to throw that out there. You know,
Why is this addicting?
a
I feel like I
soundboard with
have
that
to
on it?
watch this.
Maybe. I need to
It's worth
reinstall my
watching.
soundboard.
And the tracks are different. Like they have a sand. Like one track has a sand stretch. And
There's marble fans.
Yeah, there's marble fans. They do qualifiers like it's Formula 1. qualifying races.
This
So you
is
get your place.
amazing.
There's also Roldo or Roll. Yeah, I think it's Roldo. Like, where's Waldo? It's Roldo. It's a marble that you have to find.
Oh my gosh. Trey, you need to see this.
Sure. Oh, you mean I should check it out right now? Yeah.
No. Well, you can if you want to, because I'm doing it.
I posted a link, so
I'll have to mute it. Oh, got it. I'm skipping ahead.
This has way too much production for it to be just like some little
the
thing. This
opening,
dude,
the opening ceremony has a huge domino thing that they knocked down. It's amazing.
It looks pretty cool.
I'm gonna watch this. I have no shame. I'm going to watch this.
I'm on qualifier 4.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm gonna stop now before
I'm sorry, chat is killing me over here with these jokes. You guys missed it, but Kat said, I love their movies. I'm also a Marvel fan. My favorite Marvel movie was Spider-Man. And then Joel said people thought Miss Marvel was a little too feminist power, but it was a well-constructed movie and made over 1 million marbles.
Hey, Marbula 1, that's a thing.
Oh, man. I almost yo-ho-ho-ho'd there from One Piece. I almost did. So, we have one topic left, and this one is a weird one. Do you remember Gang Beasts, Andrew?
Yes, I do. I've wanted to play it so badly.
I've played I've actually played like 10 hours of Gang Beasts.
So, Gang Beasts is a game that I always wanted to play actively, and then they would change something, and I would stop playing it. The game's been out for like 1.5 to 2 years, and they're still working on it. They're still updating it, and the updates are sometimes good. The updates are sometimes not good. They have split off from Double Fine and are publishing the game themselves. I'm of two minds about this. They didn't give a reason other than just they felt like it was time to go off on their own. I'm of two minds about this. On the one hand, the game's done. It's been done for a long time. It's probably time to move on to a new project. But on the other hand, I don't like the current state of the game, and I hope they fix it. And I don't like the current state because I played the original state. And I played the 2 years in development state. And I played the 4 years into development state. So what they've done is they added a stamina system. I mean, it always had one, but they increased vastly the amount of stamina that it costs to do things. So before, you could climb all the way up to the top of the map while carrying somebody. And it was ridiculous and fun and nuts. Now you can barely climb up at all before you're out of stamina.
When did they add stamina?
That was probably 9-10 months ago.
Because I played it 3 months ago, and there wasn't stamina.
It's always been there, but it got a lot more heavy.
I wonder if maybe I was.
You might have been playing an old build.
I was playing on Xbox with a friend.
Yeah, it might have been an old build.
I'm gonna look this up.
So the discussion I wanted to have about this is, how do you guys feel about games that change drastically over the course of development, sometimes after they're already done, to something you're not necessarily fond of?
Say that again? I'm sorry, I was reading the update that I saw.
How do you feel about games that change drastically over the course of the development after you've been able to play them, sometimes years after the game is done, to something that you don't really like?
We could talk about that with Rocket League. That's
another good example, yeah.
That's why I don't play. They switched over the blueprint system, and I feel like that just made the cosmetics pointless. The way the system was before was perfect. All they needed to do with that game was to keep adding different model cars, keep adding maps, which is not really a map. It's just a cosmetic for the same map.
Yeah.
Or you could add fun, crazy game modes.
Yeah.
But don't but don't change
Which they
how
did early on.
cosmetics work. Yeah, like with hockey and like
the
basketball.
Yeah.
So fun. And then
So-
and now they're like, you know how you were getting cosmetics before, and it was like kind of cool to get, and like you still had to pay some money every now and then to get keys, but
Yeah.
it wasn't that expensive. Now they're like, oh yeah, you have to get the blueprints now.
I don't even necessarily mean changing the microtransactions, which is absolutely what they did there, but more of like when you physically change the game. Another example is Dead Cells, where the art style changed. The art style in the enemies was really cool 2D art, and it changed to 3D art. And some people like the change, and some people don't. I'm of the full opinion. I'm with Kat on this one. Don't release your game until it's done. Early access absolutely has this problem. It's why I try not to play games when they're in early access, because they change so drastically throughout the course of it. And B, definitely don't change the game after it's done. After you've already released it and people paid for it, you should not be changing it. You can add content, but don't be changing stuff. Unless it's a bug that needs to be fixed, or it's a Maneater's frame rate, right? If they suddenly added a lock-on, for Maneater would be better. But if they suddenly made it where, well, you can't eat turtles anymore, that doesn't make the game better,
So what about Overwatch then? Would you consider that the same thing? Because Overwatch made it where instead it's roll queue.
I absolutely think that is the same thing.
Yeah.
But see, in that scenario though, I personally feel like it did nothing but make the game better.
Sure.
But
a lot of people don't agree with that.
No, I was about to say the community had mixed opinions, and I don't know what the community's opinions are of it now.
Yeah.
But for a while, it was mixed views. Granted, the community wanted it at first, but then a lot of the people that wanted it didn't realize, well, I guess what they were getting.
Yeah.
But I think basically what I'm saying is I think that in some ways it can be good.
Yeah.
If the community as a whole is like, hey, we hate this.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, you know what? We know you've been, y'all have been constantly playing our game and giving us feedback, and we want to do something for you. Let's make this fix, but give you the option to play the original game.
Yeah.
Which technically Overwatch did with allowing you to play the classic mode.
Yes, absolutely.
But you'd be like, look, we'll make this the game now, but you still have the option to play the old version. That's fine.
Yeah. Well, and Jill brings up a good example in the chat too of Hello Neighbor was another one that did it, where early access you could play the game. It was a game about, hey, my neighbor's across the street. He's got a randomized pattern. I have to try to figure out how to get into his house and do specific things while I'm in there without him catching me, And then because the game got really popular and people were streaming it a lot, they said, hey, we're getting a lot of feedback from this. We're getting a lot of cool money from this. Let's make it a full-on adventure story game where the neighbor's doing all kinds of crazy stuff. And it's like, well, that's not what the game was. People played the game because they liked the randomized, aspect of it. And so I am very much against drastically changing your game, even if you do it that people like it later, because that's not what somebody paid for. And Overwatch is a weird one because you can get that for free for a very long time. Rocket League is a weird one because you can get that for free for a very long time. But any game that you pay for, I do not think should be changed afterwards to a different type of game. I do not think that's okay. And that's what Gang Beasts feels like it has been turned into in some ways. When I played Gang Beasts originally and loved it, it was a game about picking up your friends and throwing them into meat grinders or in front of subway trains. And now instead it feels like it is a game about depleting their stamina bars and beating them up until the point that they go limp and then throwing them.
It's almost like they try to turn it into a fighting game instead
exactly
of a party game.
Like. That's exactly
because
what it feels like.
it was a party game. It was meant to. It was an
Yeah.
arcade style, just stupid fun game.
Yes.
And now they're like, we're a fighting game. See you at the next fighting game tournament. Yeah, stamina. Yeah.
Well, yeah, no worries. To a lesser point, why doesn't it move us when Andrew leaves? I don't get it.
So I think it has to do with whoever's on that side. Bless you. So whoever's on that side, that's like his slot is considered like the quote unquote last slot. So when
Sure.
someone else goes and moves him up to the middle and
Sure.
farther to the left, and On my screen, it's moving to the left, so I'm assuming they're like, "Hey, we read left to right." Whoever is not visually there, can be moved to the far right, so you're still looking to the left.
I want to test this. I'm gonna turn my camera off and see what happens. I stay where I am.
Yeah. Like, okay, you stay right there. I'm gonna turn mine off. See?
Yep. Yeah, you're right. That's how it works. You're right. Oh, for a second there, I had a great desire to play League. That was so weird. I can't stop, Joel. I can't stop. It's the Andrew response. You're so right, man. Oh, that is exactly what he would say.
But yeah,
everybody wasn't meant to have that many sneezes. Yeah, that's games, right? Don't change your games after people buy them.
Yeah, I think it's unfortunate. I mean, they probably did it with good intention, but didn't realize. I wonder if they were trying to go in a different direction altogether to begin with.
Probably.
It became a party game, and they were like, okay, we'll just kind of let this happen. And then now that they have funding, they're like, okay, let's go for what we originally wanted, which was a fighting game.
Yeah.
Which is weird.
For sure.
You know, whatever.
Yeah, no, I guess like where I'm coming at from it would be like, hey, you know how Deep Rock Galactic's really fun? Because it's about 4 players working together and mining and having to fight off the alien waves and stuff.
Yeah.
What if all of a sudden now, while playing, if you mined a specific material, your teammates took damage while you were mining it? Is that a game mechanic that could make things more interesting? Sure. Because then it you relies on teamwork to be able to not kill each other, right?
Yeah.
Is that a thing they should do? No.
Yeah, because especially if you need a lot of it, you're literally just killing your teammates.
Yeah.
So, just my personal opinion, don't change your games once the people are playing. I do want to specify real quick, though, because I thought about this. Expansions are different, right? For the express reason of you can choose not to buy the expansion.
Yeah, plus typically the expansion is an addition to the game, not a change of the game.
Yeah.
Same thing with DLC.
There is a ton of Dr. Pepper behind me. That is correct. I bought a lot when I went to the store. I think the big one of Iceborne, right? Iceborne adds a mechanic people didn't like. Iceborne added the Clutch Claw. There are people that think I love the Clutch Claw. I think anybody that doesn't like the Clutch Claw is insane. But there are people that don't like the Clutch Claw because they think it makes the hunts too formulaic. And I get it, right? I understand where they're coming from. I don't agree, but I understand where they're coming from. You can choose not to use the Clutch Claw.
Yeah.
That's an option that you have. It's not where you can't complete the hunt unless you use the Clutch Claw, Yeah, they did fix that as well. That's true. They nerfed Wex for sure.
But
even in the base game, for sure.
But we're still talking about like an addition, like an add-on. Yeah. We're not talking about like
Iceborne did it to the base game as well.
Yeah, but again,
whether you bought it or not, that change happened to you.
But that's additional. Like you like you said, you can choose to do that. Like in Gang Beast, you can't choose to not worry about stamina.
What I'm saying though is whether you bought Iceborne or not, if you were still connected to the internet, you still get those changes.
Yeah. I mean, I suppose. I just don't feel like it's the same only because, like I said, like you said, you can choose not to use that feature. Like, you don't have to use the feature.
Right. I was speaking more about how they nerfed the...
yeah.
The other stuff. Gotcha. Or the elemental weapons were changed.
That's fair.
And stuff like that. That stuff you didn't have a choice
in. Yeah, I think that...
Yeah, it definitely was broken.
I think that we're kind of all on the same page, though, honestly. Like, it just, like, don't change your game unless it's something you're doing as an add-on or the community wanted it.
So I do have one more question on that then before we move on. MMOs. How do you feel about it when MMOs do it? Because MMOs will very often balance classes.
Yeah.
And sometimes those classes play drastically different than they did before, and you cannot play that old version anymore.
Well, that'd be the same as like reworks.
I like that because it helps keep things fresh, even though there are times where they ruin a spec.
Yeah, sure. FF14 has removed abilities that I love, but have added new abilities that I love.
And see, like, League is the same way. Like, they just changed Volibear. Completely reworked.
I'll never forget you, Ring of Thorns.
Like, Volibear doesn't look the same at all.
Sure.
And doesn't play the same. I liked... the thing that I miss the most about Volibear is his throw. You can't throw people back anymore.
Sure.
That really sucks.
Kog'Maw was changed pretty drastically, 2 years ago.
There's a lot of champions that get changed. And they try to do that regularly, like Andrew said, to kind of keep things a little fresh.
And to balance.
Yeah, and of course. I personally still like the new Volibear. I preferred the old one, but I like the new Volibear. And I especially like the aesthetics. Like, the way that Volibear looks now, in my opinion, is a lot cooler. Same thing with Twitch.
I guess where I sit with it is that I get doing it. I understand it. I understand why you do it. When the team is on point with it, it's great. When they're not, it's not. There are a lot of people right now in FF14 that would love to play old Astrologian again.
I'll take it a step further, though. I feel like that's also, though, the big difference between a game that's quote-unquote living and a game that's full build. Because games that are living, that are meant to constantly be changing, like an MMO or like in League as a MOBA, for example, like things constantly are changing in League because that's just the way that the game is.
Sure.
It's always been that way. It's not like they were like, hey, here's our game, play our game. And then a year later, they're like, we're making it a new game.
Yeah.
But it's the game.
For
you
sure.
know what I'm saying?
For
so
sure.
I get where you're coming from, and I agree. But I feel like I'm also trying to look at it at a different perspective, because you take that risk when you play living games.
Sure,
because
when you play service games, absolutely. Live service games, 100%.
You know for a fact, like, hey, they could change my favorite character or my favorite class or my favorite whatever at any time, and I might hate it. But that's a risk you take playing a game that's a living service.
As Band put it, it's not as bad as the Game Beast example, because obviously that's a whole like genre shift, it feels like.
Yeah,
for sure.
I will say there are times where live service games can get that feeling to a lower amount. The big example I go back to every time is Stormblood for Final Fantasy XIV. Bard and Machinist became casters. They had cast times. Before that, they were the free-moving, running around while you're fighting classes. And they added cast times to them to balance them, and it did not work. Everyone hated it. Because there already were casters. These classes didn't have that. Why did they become casters? And so with Shadowbringers, they got rid of that. But to a much lesser extent, it can happen in these other games, but I agree. It's nowhere near as bad.
And then we start also getting into, like, how good is the dev team? And how well are they taking feedback? Because with, like, people who play 14, for example, are very lucky because that team is very responsive to feedback, and they want what's best for their players.
Yes.
So when everyone is like, hey, Square, this is not okay. Like, this is not what we want. This is not what we like. Square will do what they can to fix that.
Yeah.
Not all games do that. And League has that problem sometimes. Like, they'll make a broken champion, and everyone in the community, except for the people who are just, all over that champion, are like, hey, fix this champion. This champion's broken. Sure. And that's what patches are for, right? But League doesn't always patch things quickly.
Yeah.
And especially right now.
For sure.
We also have, and this is not taking into consideration the fact that we're in a pandemic. Like, outside of that, teams typically act a lot faster. But right now, things are slow. But that's an interesting topic, because when a game isn't considered a service, like a game, like making a change like that is definitely a no-no.
Yeah.
And again, unless wanted by the community.
Yeah. It's a very slippery slope. So that is exactly why Square completely tore down 14 and went for Realm Reborn, is because of backlash. Because fans told them what they thought and they listened.
But because the game is a service, like, it's a living service, it's a living thing, they were able to do that, and look at what 14 has become because of that.
Thank you, Yoshi P.
And you know what? If Gang Beasts had marketed themselves as a service game, which I don't know how that could have worked, but if they had and been like, hey, we're gonna constantly make changes to this game, we would just want you to be a part of the experience and made you pay a subscription, that's a different thing. That's a whole different ballgame.
I think they got stuck in the, and I don't know for this for sure, obviously I haven't talked to them, but I think they got stuck in the early access mindset.
You're probably right.
So that even once it came out, they were still treating it like it was in early access.
And that's where we can get on the topic of like, does early access hurt games?
I don't know that Andrew can stay awake for that discussion.
I'm awake.
Okay.
Because
my contacts are starting to dry up, so I'm kind of.
I got you.
Like, do you agree with that, Andrew? Like, do you feel like early access hurts games, or at least it can? I know it can, but
it can. I mean, it can. Especially for, I feel like games like 7 Days to Die, games that are in there for such a long time.
Daisy, Rust, Ark.
Yeah. Daisy, Rust, Ark. Yeah, all those games. Well, I think Ark finally.
Did it finally come out early access?
Yeah, no, they had a full release and they made you pay full price when they were charging $40 before.
Yeah.
That was a big deal.
We talked about that at the time.
Yeah, that was a big deal.
But like these games that just live in early access, it's like I feel like they're afraid to release the game and say this is what the game is.
Yeah.
Like what we were saying before with constantly changing a game. They can now that since the games are in early access, they're in alpha or beta or whatever. They can do whatever they want to the game and say, "Oh no! Well, this is more in line with our vision."
Yeah.
Which I think is BS.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely ups and downs to that because they could be making the game better by adding things, or they could be making things a lot worse.
Yeah. I've said many times, I think Dead Cells as a game plays better now than it ever did before. But Dead Cells as a game was far more visually interesting to me in the first 3 months after it came out in early access.
Yeah.
The change to 3D models for all of the characters was a change that allowed them to be way more expressive with the monsters and saved them a lot of time working on them, but it also made the monsters far less interesting visually to me. And is one of the defining factors for why I don't play as much of that game as I would have. Because I play it and go, man, these things used to look so much cooler.
Do you think it would be better to make like a new genre for games like this? Because, for example, Raft.
Yeah.
I actually like what the company that has made Raft has done, even though it stays in early access. You play the game originally and it was just a survival game. And it had one little Easter egg. And it was like, hey, this is a piece of a story that could be something. And every single time they've made major changes, they've added to that. And they've just made it more and more and more of something.
Sure.
So it's almost like free DLC or free expansions because they're just growing.
But see, that kind of thing makes me want to not play the game. Because I want to wait for it to be done.
And see, that's the thing. I'm worried that's why I'm saying, like, I think that if they're doing early access, like, they should make it a different type of genre, because saying early access is saying, like, eventually we're going to be done with the game and it'll have an official release.
Well, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, I was going to say, like, 7 Days to Die is on I think it's like 18th early access version. It'll probably never leave early access. It'll probably never get a full official release, but they're just going to keep working on the game.
Final Fantasy VII Remake is another example of this, right? Hey, pay us $60 to play the first part of this game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The rest will come, but pay. And there are friends of mine that love Final Fantasy that will not touch Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 1 until the other parts are out, because why would they? They know they're going to like it. They know it's going to be enjoyable. So why play it now when it's incomplete?
That's a fair argument too, especially with that, because you're paying full price, and some people will. And this argument is not an argument probably for this time, but some people will always feel one way or the other, which is that either I shouldn't have to pay $60 for a part of a game that I played a long time ago that was a full game, and then there's the other people that are like, this part of this game is worth $60 because
I
of
think
what they did. And yeah, I would say some people are gonna feel one way and some people are gonna feel the other.
Mhm.
I haven't played it. I never played the original, so I don't have I don't have
Force in the race.
yeah, I don't have a foot in the race at all. But it's just kind of one of those things where it's like, you know, who's right and who's wrong, and the answer is technically nobody because it's all
Right.
subjective. It's all
Yeah.
subjective.
Yeah, I do think early access can be really beneficial, but I also think for the exact opposite reason, it can be extremely negative for a game.
That's why I almost think they should just make a new genre.
Hmm.
Or like call it something other than early access if they don't plan on releasing the full game soon.
Yeah.
They did. It's called survival games.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's very true.
That's fair.
I do think another way of doing it, if they don't have to have the money right then, is, hey, here's our game. You can buy it now. It's not out yet. You can buy it right now and play a beta. Or
That's
an
how
alpha.
it should be.
Here's an alpha. Play our alpha. Did you like it? You can buy the game right now. You can pre-order the game right now.
For cheaper.
Yeah. 6 months later, here's another alpha. We've added some features. Give us some feedback. What do you think about it?
See?
You can still pre-order the game.
This is technically what 9 to 5 is doing.
Yeah.
And I know y'all aren't paying attention to it at even near the degree that I'm paying attention to it, but they're constantly giving people that are in their Discord opportunities to get into closed alphas. And they're like, look, you can try it out. You can give us your feedback. And then if you didn't get into this closed alpha, don't be upset. We're going to have another one. Sign up. You have a chance to get into it. And they're going to keep doing that until they get closer to a beta stage.
Yeah.
And then they're going to have a closed beta. And then they're going to have an open beta.
Yeah.
And then they're going to release the full game. And that's how, in my opinion, it should be done, especially for the people who are following your game from the beginning.
For sure. The problem is we already have a precedent.
Yeah.
And so why would devs do anything different than what they're doing right now?
They can get away with it.
They can get away with it. They can make a lot of money.
Yeah.
Early access has become an easy excuse for this game's not finished. It's missing a bunch of things. But we can put it out there anyway. We can still make a lot of money on it. And if we finish it, that's great. If we don't, there's no repercussions. Because people paid for it for the version we have right now. That's why those are normally offered at a lower price point. It makes it a lower window for entry, so more people are willing to buy an unfinished game for $20 than they are to buy a finished game for $60.
No, for sure. For sure.
And that makes it very predatory. But as we would say in the old debate class, I have let the shoe drop and revealed my true feelings on the issue, which means that I have lost the argument. But I didn't. I pulled the lawyer thing where now I have won the argument because the jury is on my side. So we're at 3 hours in. I was a debate kid. I love debates. Debates are so much fun. That's why I use phrases like poisoning the well, straw man, moving the goalposts, stuff like that all the time. Because I cannot stand it when people go, yeah, well, what about this? Well, that's whataboutism. Let's calm down. Let's talk about the point you originally made. So we're 3 hours in. You guys have any plugs?
I want to point out. I love that we said we didn't have enough stuff to talk about this week.
Yeah, we went for almost an hour and a half just on weeks.
Yeah,
we make it happen.
Thanks for the cheers. And again, any subs or cheers tonight go towards paying bail for those that have been arrested illegally. And so we will get that dispersed. There's a site that I found, I'm going to tweet it out later too, that I double checked it first, obviously. But it is connected to a bunch of different bond funds. And so it is able to, basically you put in some money and it divvies it up equally to all of them. And so since normally I would say, well, we'll just support some places around where we live. But because we have viewers from all over the world, we'll spread it out between all of these different funds to hopefully be able to help a bunch of different people.
Thank you.
Cat is plugging our podcast, my Precure thread, Band, and Adri's One Piece thread.
I want to plug my next life as a Villainess.
I need to watch it.
And Chainsaw Man.
Yeah, I also want to plug Chainsaw Man.
Nice.
Even if you're not paying for Shonen Jump, you can read the first 3 chapters for free.
Nice.
So you can check it out for free.
Nice.
Just download the Shonen Jump app.
If you're not paying for Shonen Jump, what are you doing? It's like $3.
Yeah.
Just throw it on there.
You can pay $20 and it'll cover the whole year.
Nice.
I didn't know that. I've been paying $3 a month.
Yes, sir. Get on it, baby.
Yeah, and come on now. If you think about it, $20 is a meal. Okay.
Jim,
if you can't afford to support
I forgot
Shonen
about
Jump,
this meme. I forgot about this meme.
Oh my gosh.
then
you can't afford.
You don't really deserve to consume the content.
If you can't afford $3.
If you can't afford $20, then you need to go find a job. That's all I'm saying. If you can't afford to pay a subscription to my channel, then maybe you're just not working hard enough. Oh my gosh, that video. I'm honestly curious, Jen and Adri, can you use a VPN to view Shonen Jump in Mexico? Is that an option? I'm not sure how that works when it comes to their site, if their site acts up with a VPN or not.
So the app's not even available, like in the App Store?
Well, I'm sure it's not, because we don't have the Japanese version of the app either. We have a US version of the app.
Interesting.
But
I just assumed that it was available.
But you can go around it.
Either way. Yeah.
As long as you still got options. That is so, like, not to dig us into what's been going on in this week, but like privilege is a big thing that's been coming up. When it comes to subscription services, Americans, we have so much privilege when it comes to subscription services.
Mm-hmm.
I did not believe when I was told by a friend that lives in the UK that they can't even watch Crunchyroll. Like, they have to go through a workaround to be able to watch Crunchyroll because half the shows just aren't available. I was like, the UK? Like, surely you hit US, UK, Japan, right? Netflix has a bunch of stuff, a bunch of anime not available in Canada. I'm assuming probably Mexico as well. Like, we got it pretty good when it comes to streaming services. Sure, we don't get Toku, but we get a bunch of good stuff.
Mm.
Everyone's Precure threads, Char and Char-related sheep. Free Tor browser lets you use the US IP. Sure. So yeah, just keep that in mind. If you're ever like, oh, they've got so many options, I don't know which one to watch. Well, not everybody has all those options. So just keep that in mind. What was I going to plug? Oh, Lee Adri on Twitter is a great artist and is currently working on a work in progress that looks really cool. I'm excited to see it. So you should check out her Twitter. You could also check out her One Piece reaction thread. She's been watching One Piece. She really seems to like it so far, so I'm excited to see more of that. Also, the King of the What Now podcast has released a One Punch Man episode on their Patreon. So if you back them at $10 or more on their Patreon, then you can listen to their One Punch Man episode and hear them talk about that and maybe get some questions that some people might have asked on Twitter answered. I haven't listened to it yet, but I'm excited to listen to it tomorrow. Lots of great stuff there. Obviously, I'm going to plug Hug to Precure. It's real good. Just check it out. I'm going to plug Xenoblade Chronicles 1 Definitive Edition. That's real good. And then the last thing I'm going to plug is kind of a surprise. Downward Thrust is a channel that we have talked about a few times. Downward Thrust has changed his content. This was the It Didn't Die, It Was Murdered guy before the other channel took over that moniker. Downward Thrust is now making cooking videos. And
kind of random.
They're really good. Like, they're really high quality. I really like them.
The God of War one was pretty good.
Yeah. So, like, check that out for sure. I'm just saying, if you wanna post the link in our chat there, Joel. Streamlabs bot will probably throw a fit, but I will approve it. H-Bomber guy. I like some of H-Bomb stuff, and I don't like some of his stuff, but he is a very clever person and makes some really good content. I say some. The only video I didn't like from him is the Dark Souls 2 one, but it's because I have a lot of issues with Dark Souls 2, and he gets some stuff wrong in there. But he has added back in the description that he did get some stuff wrong and accepted it, so good on him. But he makes some really good stuff, so. I really like his VHS video. That's a really good video. You bet you are having some trouble working as intended. You didn't get to ban him this time. You didn't get to ban him this time. I got you, Streamlabs bot. You're under my power now. So, yeah. I feel like there's something else I'm forgetting, but plug-wise, I don't know what it is. So, you know. We're going to keep going. Yeah, for sure. Like, I am one of those people that Pat and Andrew are both like done. Sorry. I'm one of those people that like on Twitter and on YouTube, I will follow people even if I don't like their stuff because I want to hear their opinions. Whether I agree with them or not, I want to hear what they think. Mostly because I either think they're smart or because they're very vocal about their opinion. And I like to surround myself with different opinions. So that I can then go, I don't agree with this, but I see where you're coming from. Or I agree with this, but I don't agree with the way you said it. And I like to have that difference. It's why, like, Jim Sterling and I don't agree a lot, but I'm subscribed to Jim Sterling. Angry Joe and I definitely don't agree a lot, but I'm subscribed to Angry Joe, you know? Like, I want to have that difference. It's why I knew that Downward Thrust uploaded that video, because I did not like his channel at all. And then that came through on my feed, and I was like, what's this? So that's just how I look at the world. You guys don't have to do that, but just a thing, you know.
I'll have you know, Trey, that I am on Twitter adding people.
Really? You're posting on Twitter?
No, I'm just adding people that are in our chat.
Oh, okay. I was impressed that you were posting for a second there.
I may post later this week.
I took a shot at you on Twitter like 3 weeks ago, and I knew it was safe because I knew you wouldn't check it. And so when you said you were on Twitter, I went, "What
did you say?"
You don't remember.
Good luck finding it. This man posts like a madman.
I think it's because the reaction threads. I talk a lot. That's why one of my hashtags is Stop Talking Trey. I think it might have been the meme that I put in the meme channel on Discord. You should post this as a tweet. It's lost in the Trey void. Yeah, no, I talk a lot on Twitter, so if you want to deal with my spam, it's on there. But I do tweet out my hashtags so you can mute them. So you don't have to have your feed clogged. Yeah, we should probably call it. Anything else we might have forgotten? Any plugs, anything like that? It's not spam if you like it. Well, all right then. Until next time, I have been Trey.
I'm Andrew.
And I'm Pattrick.
We've been the Full Spectrum. Remember to always enjoy the full spectrum that life has to offer.